I mean, yeah, we can just keep on going.
Oh, I kind of thought we were already on the air.
No, not until now. Not until I've allowed you that opportunity to be on the air.
Oh.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me repeat myself.
And my friend's
a third of the
microphone.
people in card shops are already degenerates anyway, so it's not like it matters.
I mean, as a matter of statistical probability, sure, but the only difference here is that when you're out in public, you don't know. I'm making the assumption.
So the origin of this is that I'm editing a project for Suris, and due to circumstances,
No voices.
I have had to edit a lot of this in a public Starbucks. Imagine being in a public Starbucks with this concoction over here on your screen for the general public to see. Unfortunately, unlike Suris, I am not an unapologetic fellow.
So you're telling us you took the time to properly advertise our show to the random strangers? Like, wow, look at that weird thing. Yeah, you can see more at sunsetcity.youtube/.com, Twitter, Tumblr.
Maybe you might see a nipple or two.
Game Apologist.
I know how the internet works. Thank you very much.
Oh, have we even advertised today's episode?
Probably not.
No, probably not.
Oh, let's fix that. Let's fix this.
Shit.
Are we on the air?
We are.
Yeah?
Yeah. Hey! Welcome back to Sunset City, a Sonic podcast for the classic and modern age. Or maybe it's the other way around. I don't even know anymore. Over on our left hand here. What?
We do both of them.
We do go both
We
ways,
go
don't
both
we?
ways!
Yeah, we go both
What is wrong with us?
Over on the far end of the table, we have our globe-trotting video editor, Channel Pup.
What do you mean?
We have the man who's currently facing his demonic counterpart on Twitter.com, Nick.
It's really uncomfortable. Like, who is this?
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like Dick. Oh wait, hang on, wait. Let me explain here. I mean,
You're
as in
still my top
the
culprit.
name.
You're still the top suspect as far as I'm concerned.
I can
Pup.
prove it's not me.
Oh, I think I know who it is, and it's not anybody here.
Okay, is it somebody safe?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take it. I'll take a cautionary yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
over,
saying, Nick.
Over Pup?
If it
over
were,
concern, no.
if it were me,
And over Pup.
some of these posts would be far more like, I need to not go to the hospital because my pussy doesn't hurt. You know? If it were me, it would be saying stuff like that.
Oh my god.
I don't have horrible hospital bills that I'm struggling to pay.
Jeez. Here in the center, Gilly is dead. And next to him, we have the belated birthday boy, Suris Bartholomew Skeptic.
Hi, Wayne.
Happy birthday, Suris Bartholomew Skeptic.
Oh my god.
Oh, and I'm Wayne.
Hey,
How's it
Are
going?
you?
Yeah.
Wayne is Bay. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. I don't know. I'm here.
Oh.
Anyway, boys, how we doing this morning?
It's Dip. It's Dip. Dip is Dick.
What?
Dip is Dick.
Who's Dip?
What?
Dip is a person in our chat who follows our videos. Dip runs the out of context Sunset City account, and I'm gonna bet that Dip actually runs the Dick account.
Oh, I was starting to think it was Boatin.
Ah, I can't see Bowen doing that.
I could see Bowden doing that.
I could see Boatin doing that, and it was especially like because I saw Dick like say something on Twitter.
You
I need
saw
to go
Dick?
follow.
You saw...
I need to. I saw Dick on Twitter.com.
Nice.
And then like Boatin responded to something that it said, and immediately there was a response to them. So I was just like, I would not be surprised if it's them.
This is like when I figured out who fucking ran the Lord Dumpy Twitter.
It's definitely Dip.
I think it's Boatin.
I think it's Bowden.
You know what? Let's do a poll.
I think it's Boatin.
I don't think that. You know, like, Pup, a poll is not going to actually reveal the identity.
Yeah, just as a poll is not actually going to determine whether or not I include human feces in our Portland documentary. I'm going to include the turd.
We already knew that, Pup.
Listen, he makes me so goddamn mad.
You tell us this every time as if the reactions are going to be different.
You're going to warm up to it. It's going to
I'm
happen.
going to say, No, somebody's already said it's me again, and I'm getting fucking tired of this. I'm so tired of this. I'm not that pathetic.
It is not this man's sense of humor at all.
No, I'm not so pathetic as to make my own counter fucking villain account. That's just pathetic. It's not 2006. Jesus Christ.
If I did
But it
it,
is funny when
he would be
someone else does
called. He'd be called Kin, because I like it when the nemesis had like the reverse name. I always find that really funny. Like Kin be like, I fucking hate the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well, I mean, I've said this before on the show. And like a lot of people were comparing it to Ben 10's counterpart, and I didn't show that to the world because like I used to make my own comic based on me and my friends in high school, and I had a little green cape and a white shirt and khaki pants, and I mean, it looks like Ben 10, which sucks. But like for the opposite, like I went on the color wheel. So the opposite of green is red, the opposite of white is black, and the opposite of brown, which is like basically all the primary colors mooshed together, would be all the shades, like the non-colors put together, which is just black and white, which is kind of like a silvery gray. So it looked exactly like the Ben 10 counterpart, and his name was Nicholas backwards, so we called him Salison because we thought it sounded like all Jedi and fun. Me and my friend were dorks. So yeah, I've already made my own villain. I've just talked shit.
So we got Kin.
If you think
Suris.
that's a silly name, I also worked on comic books when I was a kid, and I had the dumbest little ideas. I had this guy who was the main superhero that I came up with, and his name was Starborg, and he was a cyborg, and he had like alien technology or something in him. So I was like, hey, Starborg, and he could just make his limbs turn into shit. That was before I knew Green Lantern was a thing.
I've told you about the superhero I came up with when I was a little boy, right?
I think so. Why don't you go ahead and
don't tell me it's the foreskin thief.
No. This was William Man, and his superpowers that he would incapacitate them with spicy sandwiches and then call the cops.
I love
Yeah.
that.
It was
That's
a very
so
bad
adorable.
superhero.
That's so adorable. No, that's so much better than like what I was doing. Like it was super than my last name. So as far as anyone here is concerned, it's Super Nick. And like that makes more sense anyway because like I don't have N in my last name, but on my character's shirt was a big stylized N.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
By the way, I've crafted names for our villain counterparts. So we got Kin, Suris, Enor, Pup, and Yillig.
I need to follow Dick on Twitter.
Wait, is mine just Cirrus? It's just the I and the U flipped, isn't it?
Yeah, and in my case, like Pup backwards is just Pup.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I could be Pup
So
Lanak,
your
but
own
like...
worst enemy.
Oh, we do have some really important information that we actually gotta, some really, really important news that we gotta talk about real quick.
Oh, go on.
All right.
Just announced last night, there was a trailer for it. Metroid Fusion is coming to the Switch
Oh my fucking
next
God.
week.
Congrats on your new
No one
fucking
cares.
ROM.
Yeah.
Dude, this is the second Metroid Renaissance. This is big. This
The
is
second
good.
Metroid Renaissance is just the same game.
Retroid
from the first
Renaissance.
Renaissance.
Oh, we got Dread and Samus Returns.
That's actually a really hard
I-
word, Menaissance. Like,
you
this-
named one new game.
No,
Hey,
and
Samus
a
Returns.
remake.
Samus Returns had enough going on to be its own experience.
I know.
So,
I'm just giving
yeah.
you shit, you defensive little bitch. It's fine. No, eat it up. Be happy. I'm happy too. I love Metroid.
I'm
This
so
is
fucking
great.
happy.
Kin be like,
God.
I tend
Hey.
to enjoy Sonic games.
Before we get into anything else, though, I see Bob in the chat, and I just want to say, happy Ginger Bob. It's his birthday today.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Imagine being born. Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be
Me neither.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of Sonic news, but we do have some weird things to discuss.
We have some weird circumstances.
So Ken Penders is going to sue the Democratic Party, and it's going to be wonderful.
Yeah. Suris, I actually, you know, I imagine you know the players a little bit better than we do.
You know a lot of politics, right, Suris?
So here's the thing. I actually have not been looking up anything when it comes to the Secretary of Labor right now. I don't know a whole lot about Julie Sue or her history.
It's
She's
Julie
not been on my radar. She's
So
not been
that-
on my radar.
Yeah, let's just get into that. That's the only connection we really have, is we have somebody in the news named Julie Sue.
Yep.
Who you might know from as being Knuckles lady
a pink
from
echidna.
Archie.
Yeah.
Yeah, over-designed to shit and made by Ken Penders.
It is worth noting Ken Penders did respond to the news in a positive way.
Oh, that's nice. Oh my
That's
god,
good.
Ken Penders responding to news positively? That's actually really nice. That's refreshing. I didn't know that he had it in him.
I will say I haven't like dug into a lot of stuff, but outside of comic books and the weird way that he responds to the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, I've never seen the man say anything I found terribly alarming. He's then again, I'm not saying he hasn't said anything alarming. I don't give that much of a shit about him outside of like the context of Sonic the Hedgehog. So,
He said some pretty awful stuff about autism, but I'm not going to go into it.
I don't
Oh,
even,
okay,
you
yeah.
know, I like, to be fair, I don't even know if it was that awful, just kind of
It's kind of
dumb.
weird.
I mean, I think there's more to kind of pick apart when it comes to Ken specifically about a couple of the things he said, but he has said some things like kind of weird, but like the way he talks is also like, I don't think he's trying to be hateful, and I think that needs to be taken into account.
Also,
It feels-
he did kind of weasel. What's the name of the guy that worked on Sad AM? He's no longer alive.
Oh yeah, the showrunner for Sad AM. Yeah, we know the whole story about
Yeah,
the.
like that was an outright like backstabbing. That so like I still think there's fair grounds for judgment of his character based on some things, but like
I don't know if that's necessarily stuff we need to be talking about in Sunset City though.
it's Sonic related.
It's also
but-
old news.
But
Yeah.
and we're also now talking about like personal character judgments.
yeah, which can get dicey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, at the end of the day, none of us know him. We see a glimpse of his personality. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so, does anybody here actually know anything about Julie Sue, like the human being?
Yes. So again, she's not really been on my radar, but I know a little bit. She's mainly known for she was a lawyer in California. Did a lot of advocacy for diverse racial groups. She was slated to be in the runnings for Department of Labor in 2020, but it took Walsh resigning, the current Secretary of Labor, before Biden was able to go like, okay, you're actually going to become Secretary of Labor.
Okay.
That's about it. Like it is the smallest bit of information, but I know that a lot of her advocacy has been in some of the discrimination cases against Asian Americans. But she's known to be a pretty good lawyer, so I mean, she knows her stuff at the very least. But
All right.
that's getting like that is now the stretch of my knowledge where she is concerned.
I will say, like, me personally, I was sitting in a McDonald's last night, and I'm just, like, scrolling through Twitter, and I just see, like, somebody retweet, like, the news of the position.
Yeah.
And the caption was just, holy shit. it was the best way to, like, stumble across that.
Just say
It's-
whoa.
It's
Yeah.
definitely a weird, like it's a weird thing to stumble into, but it's not the worst thing in the world.
No.
It's a
but-
funny little coincidence. That's all.
Yeah,
What a
that's it.
coinky.
Like this, like seeing Sonic Twitter talk about politics for like a day has been interesting.
I
But
don't even know what that job does. I sure don't.
what, the Secretary of Labor?
Yeah.
They do a
They
lot of
secrete the labor.
Well, no, they set a lot of the federal rules on like how we have to handle overtime when benefits start kicking in for certain companies. If you've ever worked at a job that said like, hey, actually, we can't have you on for more than 32 hours because then we have to give you benefits. Secretary of Labor is largely responsible for a lot of that, a lot of like those rules.
You
Fair
know what I
enough.
bet they don't do? I bet they don't stop the games.
Hey Nick, you know why GameStop is failing as a business?
Do you know why
So
you're
we're
failing as a comedian?
So we're making the joke
Piece of
again after the joke's already been made, and the joke was made as a callback to the other joke, so people already had to fucking know the joke for it to be funny.
Yes, that's it. Just explain the joke, Ken.
Yes, it's literally funnier to explain it than what you did.
I feel like I've said it on the show before, or in this crowd at least, but a friend of mine said something that really stuck with me over the years. He said that comedy is like a frog. When you dissect
Okay.
it, it dies.
This reminds me of a quote from my
Yeah.
my uncle before he died. He said, "Fuck bitches, get money."
Exactly. There you go.
And I do
So
neither of
rather
those
than
things.
politics, clearly we're full of politics. We're adults. We're
Full of
smart.
soup.
Let's move on to shit that doesn't actually
Let's
matter
go,
now.
Brandon.
Yeah, because I don't think there's anything else we can even say about that situation.
No.
'Cause literally none of us know.
No,
anything.
we don't. We don't know. It's like, hey, there's a Sonic thing in the real world. Can you believe somebody has the name Julie and Sue together in a name?
Wait, Sonic is
Yep.
real?
Yes, Pup. Yes.
As a
what we're
concept, he
saying.
exists? Whoa.
Not as a concept, as a person. And he's running now.
Don't be silly.
Vote for him.
Well,
All right. Well, okay. Next on the agenda then, we got our boy Takeshi Iizuka, top fucking G, is now literally the top fucking G in a way. Well, he's one of the top fucking Gs. He's been promoted. He's a chief executive officer now at Sega, whereas previously he was kind of the showrunner of Sonic Team, effectively. So, you know, this might not have any impact on anything, but, you know, given that he's now in the upper circle, I think it could potentially mean some good things for Sonic. I don't know. Like, what do you guys think?
I don't think a single thing is going to change. I think he just is going to make more money because he's been there for so long.
Yeah. Like when
That's-
you're
yeah,
doing the corporate shuffle doesn't actually change a whole lot unless there's new players getting involved.
right.
And if he's gonna be if it's the old players just moving further and further to the top, the status quo gets more status quoer.
Well, the thing I was thinking is that Iizuka, during the adventure era and stuff like that, wanted, like, a lot of, like, Sonic Team and stuff in the USA, effectively. And I think if he gets more say in that, maybe we might actually see some of the stuff we've been asking for, as in Sonic become a much more USA-based thing. The other thing I'm thinking is, the guy's wanted to make a Sonic Adventure 3 for fucking years. I don't know what's been stopping him, but now that he's in a higher position, maybe there's more of a chance.
I was
think-
thinking.
I don't think that. No, I think if anybody is stopping Sonic Adventure 3, it's him. He's got so much control over the Sonic brand.
No, he's literally
like
said
almost
he
complete
wants to.
control.
He wants to do it. Like he's.
Well, him wanting to do it and him thinking that it's something feasible at the time aren't really the same thing. So I believe that if we could have gotten a Sonic Adventure 3 at this point, we would have. But
Yeah.
because the franchise has been pulling itself in the directions that it has been, the time hasn't really been right for it. I honestly fully believe Frontiers is just laying down groundwork for it. I think that's him, like, trying to get ready for it, especially with fucking DLC that's going to add, like, those other characters to play.
I was
Like,
gonna
come
say,
on.
yeah, like the DLC is effectively going to turn it into Sonic Adventure. Like,
I
Yeah.
mean, realistically, what do Sonic fans want? A Chow Garden. Are you giving them a Chow Garden? No.
This is why I hate Sonic fans.
Well-
What's the priority? Fucking virtual pets, fucking idiots. God
Well,
damn
Nick,
it.
let me tell you a thing or two about V-Pets. No, well, Nick, when we were having breakfast at my house, like I remember you had like the best little name for Sonic Frontiers at the time. I don't know if you were gonna try to use that in one of your reviews.
I don't remember. Go ahead.
It's like Sonic Adventure CD.
Yeah, no, I was just joking.
Yeah.
You like fun of it. I was like, hey, can I use that? And I was like, no.
And then he didn't fucking use it.
I've done one fucking video, and also I don't think it's Sonic Adventure CD. But so you go ahead and use it. I mean,
I've already done my review. I was timely, damn it.
and you said it in there. It's fine. You're fine. I just talked about the story, but like, I don't know, man. Like, I thought it was like a clever thing to say, but like in practice, I don't really think it is. Like so I'm not going to try and force something just because it sounds clever, you know.
Nah, and
What was
I
the
totally
line of
get
thinking
it.
that led to that again?
Well,
I don't remember.
I was talking at the time, and I swear this is related to the actual topic of discussion, but I was saying, like, I was feeling while playing through Sonic Frontiers, it gave me the feeling, like that kind of tone that I got from the original Sonic Adventure that I haven't really felt in the series in a very, very long time. Probably not since that game. And it was just trying to kind of dissect what it was that Frontiers was doing that reminded me so specifically of that. And
Sorry, go on.
I definitely think a lot of it is the spirit. Part of it is the location. Part of it is like just kind of the overall aesthetic of it. But there's just there's this kind of like mythical mystery element to everything that everything else. A lot of the series has tried to tap on that, but it hasn't done it in quite the same way that Frontiers and Adventure 1 have. I don't know.
I mean, a video I was going to make at some point was going to be a video on why I think that Sonic Frontiers is the Adventure remake. However, I'm going to hold off on that until we actually get the DLC, because I think I'll have much more evidence for it. But as it stands, it's like, between things like some of the environments, just the ancients resembling chaos, the pinball game being in there, there's that bit in Oranos Island where you have to turn the mirrors to each other and reflect the light, like in the Lost World level. Like, there's just tons of little things in there that are so very Sonic Adventure.
I've gone from thinking it's more like Sonic City and thinking it's a little more like Sonic 4. I think the difference between Sonic City is like they had one good idea, and then we had two games going off and trying different ways to build upon the idea. What I see with Frontiers is, outside of the framework of Zelda and a lot of other modern games, this is the most like modern Sonic game, ironically enough, in my opinion, because I'm seeing so many things from other popular game franchises mixed in this, but it's trying to like recapture what the adventure games brought, more like in the same way that Sonic 4 was trying to recapture the classic games. Now, I'm not saying that in terms of like comparable quality, but like keep in mind, like Sonic 4 also got a lot more praise back when it first dropped too. Not saying that Frontiers is bad by any means, but I do think it's trying to recapture adventure, and how well it actually does that, I think is left to be seen.
Well, on the note of it being another Sonic 4, also a lot of its levels are rehashed as fuck. Sonic can walk up inclines and stops on a dime whenever you jump.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna go ahead and call it Sonic 4, we might as well go all the way, and that's yeah.
And you know me, Suris, I always go all the way.
God damn it.
Well, I'm hoping. And again, like this is always like the why I'm looking forward, and I wonder if like this is always the case with Sonic. Why I'm looking forward to this, outside of recapturing the adventure games, like I've said plenty of times, my favorite parts of the game are the new things. It's not the things we've done with the boost stuff before. It's not, the desperate attempts to recapture Sonic Adventure in very weird ways with shooting or fishing, just very, just played down and getting the characters back to that point they were at the end of Adventure 1 and 2. I mean, I don't mind all that stuff, but like, I'm very curious to see what they do going forward. I think that's going to be the true, okay, Sonic is safe again,
You're excited to see what they mountain
Do.
Imagine
Imagine the next game comes out and it's literally the same Starfall Islands again, but with a different story wrapped around it.
Oh my
Jesus
God.
The
Christ.
color palettes are maybe slightly shifted. They do like a cosmic shake kind of thing. It's like, here is Cowboy Kronos Island. Here
They're like-
is snowy
like Tears-
fucking... Sorry, go on.
It's like Tears of the Kingdom. The rails are even higher in the air.
Literally, the
yeah.
island is the same. It's just the obstacles are placed differently now. That fucking diamond in the sky on Kronos Island is now over there by the tower instead of over there by the big web boy thing.
It moved a little bit.
Oh man, this might please you, Nick. But you're like the only person that'll care about my opinion on this. But I'm actually starting to feel a little more excited about Tears of the Kingdom leading up to it.
Oh, why don't you tell us how you really feel? Jeez.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm thinking it helped that I've been playing through Breath of the Wild. I think what I'm actually gonna do might start this weekend. I'm just gonna stream a playthrough of Breath of the Wild again.
Hey.
Good.
That's a good call.
Just so I can, because I was already fucking with it again recently, and I was just having a great old time, and I was just kind of like, I wanted to do like one particular route and kind of like restructure my playthrough of it and everything. And I'm thinking about doing the same thing for the stream, just because I was really enjoying it. And I was just like, man, I want to like share this experience with other people, and it's just kind of like help open up that discussion about what was good about this game, what I still don't particularly like about it, and what specific concerns I have about a sequel that's directly building off of it. Those are still there, but there's I'm feeling a lot more optimistic about it now. So
It's a good game worth playing.
I'm probably gonna enjoy it either way, but like also don't blame me for the concerns you had. I just hope you have a fun time because I know you, Wayne. You're gonna play it either way.
Oh yeah. I'm playing that. I'm getting that shit day one.
You'll be fine, man.
Yeah,
You'll see
yeah.
a temple, you'll come, and it'll be fine.
I better see fucking temples, and I mean actual temples. Like that's
I mean, listen, I've been
like
under
the
a lot
bare
of,
minimum.
I've been under a lot of stress lately, so if you want to just rub my temples a little bit, that'll make me very happy.
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Oh, thanks, man. Speaking of Zelda, though, we have got a bit of news pertaining to the Sonic Frontiers DLC. So we have just found out that the release date for the Sonic Frontiers DLC will be announced sometime this year. So look forward to that.
I guess it is soon, though, isn't it?
Probably. I mean, look, DLC 2 is set to come out in June. We can gather that because there's a Sonic's birthday event. But knowing Sega will probably release in fucking August.
I do know that we there was somebody that was saying like they were looking at the files on the Steam version of the game, and it was apparently showing that like they've been updating it recently on a file level, and so it looks like we're going to be getting the DLC announcement soon for the first wave.
You know what made me happy is if they just shadow release it, just say like, "Hey, it's out."
Oh, they might. I mean, they honestly might do that with it being like free DLC and all that. I honestly, I'm just happy that they're handling the DLC the way they are already. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not really I mean, like, I think they're going to be nice. Like, I don't. Am I alone here? Are you guys excited for anything outside of the new characters? Because that's all I really care about.
Yes.
It's the only thing I care about.
I'm excited. Photo mode I'll use twice and then I'll never touch again.
Oh,
right.
I literally sometimes just jump on Spider-Man PS5 just to play with the photo mode. Now, the thing is,
Spider-Man PS5 looks better.
well, in a lot of ways, that is also helped by the fact that it's such a good photo mode, and I doubt Frontiers is going to be anything close to that. But still, I love photo mode in video games, and it's just going to give me more reason to just go in and bum about again. But I'm also looking forward to what these challenge modes are, because that's coming in the first update, and I think one of them will be being able to replay the Titan boss fights. Now, if you've even dipped your toes into the modding community, you can probably already do that, but like, I don't know, man. I'm interested to see if they bring anything else with that, what's happening with the cyberspace, because that was kind of in the advertisement for the challenge mode. So, you know, I'm looking forward to stuff outside the new characters, and whatever this new story is as well, although I do think new story and playable characters, those two things are actually kind of going to be grouped together. I don't think those are separate things. Also, new final boss, if Kishimoto's being serious about that. Looking forward to that.
Well, yeah, I'd hope he'd kind of hold off on that, though, because I'd imagine as hard as they went with the other boss fights, that's going to take probably as much work as just bringing in the other characters.
Yeah. Otherwise, we're going to get another The End fight.
I mean, if they are bold enough, they could just go wild and have like a final form different from the moon. I always compare it to Kirby now. I can't help it. Like, that was the first time I saw a game just go buck wild for its finale. Have you guys ever played the original NES Kirby's Adventure?
Yeah.
I need to. I've got it. I've got like there was a 3D version that they made on the 3DS. I swear I've actually talked about this on the show before. And I've got that, and I've got it on the the Switch and everything. I need to just actually sit down and play it. It's a Kirby game. I imagine I can do it in like a couple hours.
Well,
You
I'm
could.
also just kind of thinking, like, in regards to the final boss, like, it's still gonna be the end. It's still gonna be a big fat fucking moon. I'm sure of it. But, like, I think what they're trying to do is do it just so that, like, the Ikaruga isn't the last bit. I think they want to just add a little extra section onto it. Whether or not it's, like, maybe you do something a bit Doomsday Zone-y with Sonic and the moon, or... I think a way of doing it would be, you still play as the Titan, but now the Titan can, like, punch and shit, just like Super Sonic can. Because my character arc has brought me to this point where I realize Super Sonic probably couldn't punch the moon, because the moon's really big and you wouldn't be able to see Super Sonic on screen in comparison to it, you know? So, like, maybe it's better for the Supreme Titan to punch the moon, but he gets the supersonic abilities, you know?
Yeah, I thought that's what they were gonna do in the original game when they first showed them teaming up. I was like, oh, okay, Sonic is going to combine the energy with the Titan, and that's gonna go nuts. And I think like some of those files that people have been digging up, like the Golden Titans, I think that shows us a wilder finale than we probably would have realized.
I don't think it was Golden Titans, though, was it? I thought it was more like just Golden General Mooks.
I thought they were Golden Titans, but I could be mistaken.
It's not
I've
something
only
I've seen,
seen
but
that once.
I have seen Golden Mooks. But, I mean, hey, like, you know, we don't know. It could be anything. But
It could be.
I
Fun to
think
speculate.
if they want to do a way that's relatively easy to do, but would at least deliver a bit more of a satisfying end, would be, like, I guess if they just... Even if they copy and paste some of the attack patterns from the other Titans over to the moon, have it shoot lasers out at you and shit like that, you know? As long as you get to, you know, beat the shit out of it and stuff, and it feels cathartic and it feels like a big spectacle, then, you know, like, I'm fine with them copy-pasting bits over to make that happen, you know? But I'm not expecting much out of this. I think I'm expecting, at most, just navigating through some rocks and making your way there, like Supersonic in kind of Doomsday Zone style, I guess. Maybe rather than, you know, when the Titan throws him, rather than it being a QTE, maybe we get to control that. But then you'd sacrifice that cool little shooting star cutscene, which I really like.
I don't think they're going to... So, I don't think they're going to rework the final boss. I think they're going to probably just pick up off of that last cutscene that's in the game and give us another final boss afterwards. Because, like, there's that whole bit during the fight with the end where, and spoilers for anybody who hasn't played the game yet, woo, but there's a whole point during the point of the end where it points out that even if you kill that incarnation of it, that doesn't mean that you've stopped it. It doesn't mean that you've won. And yeah, on the one hand, that's the shonen antagonist saying the same thing they always say.
I have a huge cock. You think you
basically,
can beat me? You can rip this cock off, another will grow back in its place.
But aside from, you know, the end, the massive Hydra cock doing its thing, it would make sense if instead of trying to rework the fight they already have, disappointments and all, they just said, actually, no, the real version of the end is coming, and the last level is the lead up to it is a series of cyberspace levels where you are trying to basically rescue Sage because you need Sage to finish things off once and for all. Now that we know that Eggman knows that Sage is somewhere, her data is somewhere in cyberspace from that last cutscene, and we know that
this is it all sounds nice, but as a finale to the game, it sounds incredibly tacked on.
Yes, that's kind of
It's
how
gonna be tacked on. It's going to be tacked.
It's going to be
I
tacked.
think it would be
DLC finales are
it would
because
be
of
better
the-
to rework what we have, but like
I disagree. I think if you go in and try to retroactively change what the final boss is, you cheapen what the original experience of playing through that game was. While I did not personally find that satisfying, I have a lot more respect for building off of something that was already there and sticking to, like, not necessarily a mistake, but something that people didn't really jive with, and then just kind of like going beyond that versus just trying to change
Well, I'm
what
not
was there
saying
already.
get rid of anything that's there already. I'm not saying get rid of the Ikaruga. I'd say keep it, but have a third phase in there is what I'm basically saying. Just add an extra
and
phase.
that's what we're saying.
saying.
That's
Yeah.
what,
Yeah,
That's
but
what
no,
we're-
that's not what you're saying. What you're basically saying is
No, that's
Sonic.
that's not what
hang
I'm
on.
saying.
No, yeah, okay. Well, I'm only going off of what you're saying when I say this. Okay, like, what we got is an ending where Sonic comes back down to Earth, is reunited with his friends. Eggman processes grief. Sonic and friends leave the Starfall Islands. Eggman brings back Sage, and then suddenly the end pops back in, and we have to fight it again. Like again, it kind of really kind of opens a can of narrative worms that way, you know.
that's not what I was. That's not what I was thinking. Suris was describing at all. I was just thinking it would just be another phase following the Ikaruga fight.
No, what I was
That's
talking about
what I
is
said
like
in the first
literally.
place.
What I was talking about was not another phase added onto the fight. I don't think they're going to change the fight. I don't think they're going to add anything to the fight. I think the fight's going to exist as it is, and they're going to give a justification for, hey, by the way, when the end literally said in the fight, you are only killing an incarnation of it. It's not over. It wasn't fucking lying.
So it's what
Like,
I just
that's-
said a second ago. Is like it's just going to be an extra bit of the story.
That's why I'm clarifying the confusion. I am not saying that I think what they're going to do is what Wayne is saying. I think what they're going to do is literally tack on more content, justify us having either a rematch with the End or perhaps even a fight with Eggman. More than likely, it's just going to be the End again. But literally them trying to go like, no, the moon thing was dumb. Have an actual real final boss fight with this thing is probably what they're going to end up doing without changing the original. They'll keep that all there.
I feel like
Has
all of
some
this
thought.
stuff would be cooler for a separate game, though. Like, I was saying this to Nick when I saw his video on the Frontier story. Guys, do check that out if you get the chance. I hear he got a
you.
really good editor involved. But, like...
You did. Yeah, I had to edit quite a bit of the middle there, Pup.
Oh, you did?
You did there was a like 10 minutes of like uncut fucking cut. Like you did it in like 6 hours. So I'm not going to complain. Like you did incredible. You did fucking incredible.
We'll talk about that later. The point
yeah,
I was
yeah,
making
you did
was,
amazing.
it brought up some points about, like, existentiality and stuff. And, like, how, you know, basically it's like the frontier of, like, you know, the ancients tried to run from the End is kind of an inevitability, so it's kind of more about taking solace in it. So I kind of think the idea of destroying the End is kind of at odds with the theme when you think about it. So maybe in the next game, like, given that Eggman is the only one that didn't grow from loss, given that Eggman is the only one that denied Sage closure, and, you know, maybe the End is going to factor into that next story, but it's, rather than destroying the End, it's factoring it into our world, you know, accepting it as a part of our world, accepting that every world has its end, and that's always sad, but, you know, the fucking Black Knight shit.
Yeah, but this...
Could I build off both of your points, if you don't
Sure.
mind? I've been brewing some. You guys have inspired, and also talking about Metroid Prime made me think about this too. Spoilers for the end of that, where you have a final boss, and then it teases what the next enemy is, which becomes the actual main antagonist of the entire trilogy, that being Dark Samus. I wouldn't mind if they took some notes from that, because I think you both are onto something really cool here. Because yeah, and I had an hour-long ramble about it. I think it's pretty clear, like, the End represents the end, like, just death in general. I mean, they flat out said death. And Pup, yeah, he did mention that before, and I had said in that conversation with him, was like, I can't imagine they're going to go back to this very generic thing for the future in terms of like an antagonist, but like if it evolved from there, I agree with you, Pup. I think that would be really cool as a through line to keep telling some kind of story, even if it's not the exact same story. Like the thematic elements, I think would be clever. And I know Ian's a clever guy. He is a genuine writer. He loves actual subtext and theme to everything. What if it is Sage who brings back the End? Who doesn't mean like it attached to her as it was destroyed, and Eggman bringing her back inevitably brings back the End in another incarnation, be it like a corrupted Sage or like Dark Samus style. It creates a whole new being that has like a proper form to it now.
Mhm.
I mean, a thing I've been thinking is, how cool would it be if they used that as a means of bringing Mephiles into the main line once again?
I would love to see
So
him
that,
again.
like-
I would like to see him in Infinite written good.
What if, like,
actually, what that brings...
you see the end finally take form, and that form is Mephiles, and we just refer to it as the end, effectively.
I don't know if that would work that well though, because Mephiles still represents a lot of shadows, like darkness, right? Like he
That's
represents
true.
a lot of shadows failing, and that I don't think that works as well as a Sonic antagonist.
No, I do agree with that in some ways. It's just that there are some striking similarities between the End and Mephiles character-wise that I just think you could work with. Maybe, although, like, okay, so fucking what's-his-face said that the End takes the form of, like, whoever sees it. You know, the End is in the eye of the beholder. What if Mephiles is how Shadow sees the End?
That'd be cool.
He just sees the representation of everything he's ever done wrong.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Shadow, when he first came into the fray, wanted to end all life on Earth. He was the End for a brief period.
I think it would be cool if the End, like, if they brought the End back and then realized that, hey, this is functionally a thing that we're never going to be able to get rid of. And the thing that would dial up a Sonic conflict is if the End ever decides to manifest within any particular big bad that we're fighting. Like, imagine a perfect Chaos style boss battle, or a Dark Gaia style boss battle, and then just like, as you deliver the final blow, you see a manifestation of the End start to build up in it, and you go, oh, things just got much worse.
I mean, it's honestly, like, easier to justify over, you know, some other repeating antagonists in game series. I'll tell you right now, like, I'm a little tired of the constant re-resurrection of Ganondorf.
I appreciate that he's at least the same character, though, to be fair. But
yeah, they cheat a little bit with, like, being in alternate timelines and everything like that, and I appreciate that when it's there, because, like, sometimes they've written him really well in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
But something like Eggman, Eggman's... I kind of stopped giving a shit when he's the main villain all the time. I don't really care about him as an antagonist, to be perfectly honest. Not the way that I used to.
I think Eggman works best as a deuteragonist. I think he works best as a parallel foil to whoever happens to actually be the big problem.
And I think they proved that all the way back in Sonic Adventures 1 and 2, and then they keep making the mistake of, like, trying to make him the main antagonist, and it just doesn't fit him.
I think it could go both ways. Like, I think it's been, like, to me, there's evidence both for and against Eggman as the main antagonist. Like, Sonic Forces, like, Eggman is the main antagonist, but Sonic Forces, the problem with that is just that it's a badly written game. Like, I think Eggman can be the main villain and be very cool, like, you know, in the Metal Virus, and, I mean, look, Sonic...
Well, even in the Metal Virus, you can make the argument that the Deadly Six and the Metal Virus itself both overshadowed Eggman.
I mean, the Metal Virus isn't a villain, though. It's a creation of...
It's an antagonistic force, and again, I think that it had a larger presence than the person that created it.
Sure,
it's a force of nature style villain, which actually, like, narratively is a villain.
Yeah, but it's anything but natural, and also Eggman, like... Eggman, his whole thing has always been his foil should be at his plan rather should be at the forefront rather than just him himself. It's like you don't just play a Sonic game and Eggman's just minding his own business and you have to fuck him up, you know. Like he's usually got something he's going for, be it the Death Egg, and it's like, what are we gonna call that, a force of nature now?
If I can make an argument, Sonic 3 and Knuckles is the last time I cared about Eggman as, like, the central antagonist, like, the big bad to fight, the force to finish off at the end of the game. And I think that was the best that he was ever fitting that role.
It just depends how it's done. For me, like, as well as that.
I mean,
like,
what's a time after that he really nailed the delivery?
I'm gonna get there. And you're gonna clown on me for this, because I would clown on me for this, but Sonic Colors, okay? As much as I hate the writing...
okay.
As much as I hate the writing in that game, when it came out in 2010, it was a big deal that there was no secondary villain here. It was just Sonic versus Eggman. You see it in, like, that opening FMV. Sonic just standing there growling. Eggman's just there going at each other. There's no other god of destruction. It's just those two against each other, and Eggman is just sticking wisps in capsules and using them as energy. Like, you wouldn't want another...
I thought that game was boring as piss, so I don't know.
I thought it was... I wouldn't want another...
It doesn't mean he can't work, though. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
he is the main antagonist of the series. That's the point of him. And yeah, they do downplay him when they bring in Eldritch Beasts and stuff like that. But I would love to see something like Sonic 3 and Knuckles play out in a video game, because I've read too many of the comics. I've seen too many of the shows. And, like, the best showdowns are Sonic and Robotnik finally coming to blows with each other and just going all out. And I think Eggman, like, yeah, like, they've definitely played up, like, the biggest problem he has is getting in his own way, and, like, his own shit gets out of control and Sonic has to clean up his mess. And I think that's all well and fine, but, like, I do still think they should, like, play up, like, hey, when he has his shit together, like, he's a dangerous force. Like, he can be, I don't know, man. Like the Sonic and Mega Man crossovers, when they have him next to Wily, and, like, just how fucking sinister he is compared to another Mad Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he can do some really, really nasty stuff if you let him. And I think there's room for both the sillier stuff when he has to, you know, downplay his own role, and also, like, yeah, like a big final showdown, like, I'm so pissed at this hedgehog, I'm ripping apart my own death egg just to blast him apart. Like, I love that. Like,
that I've been thinking... Sorry, did you want to go first, Ryan?
I should clarify. It's not that I don't think he can't work. I don't have the confidence that the team that's been making Sonic games over the past, like, you know, however long, has the capacity to make it work.
That is a separate conversation, in my opinion.
Well, it's also the hand that we're dealing with.
It feels like the conversation we're having.
It's also the factors that we have to consider, because we're not talking about a universe where these games are being developed by other people. I don't think we're going to see Eggman work the way I would love him to as a main force of, as the main antagonistic force, because of the people that are making the games. Well, and I don't trust this team because, again, I do not think Eggman has reached the level as the main threat in a single like standalone story as he did in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And even then, that felt like it was encapsulating the story that's those, like, classic Genesis games had been building up already, which was Eggman tapping into forces beyond his control, and he finally, like, it felt like the penultimate clash of that at the end of that game, that just, like, desperate chase. At a point, Eggman's not even able to fight you anymore. He's just trying to get away with this thing.
Yeah, I understand. The thing I'm saying is, for one, we have Ian Flynn now. Provided that the internal writer at Sega, whoever they get to do that, gives Eggman a bigger role, I am not remotely worried about having Eggman as a bigger role or a main villain in a future Sonic game while we've got Ian Flynn doing the dialogue. The other thing I was going to say is the movies. He's the main villain in those, and I think he's great as the main villain in those. The other thing is, too many examples in recent years haven't really been Eggman being so much the main villain, so much as an old switcheroo forcing Eggman into main villain status. Look at, like, Sonic Generations, for example. It's this whodunit of who is the Time Eater. Oh, big shock, it's Eggman. Lost World. Thematically, Zavok is the main villain of that game. But it feels like they had an obligation to make Eggy the main villain, so in he comes as the final boss. Big betrayal. Forces. He barely uses the Phantom Ruby, which is the massive MacGuffin of the game. Infinite is doing the dirty work. Infinite is the villain that we're invested in, but at the last minute, he's taken out of the equation. Eggman suddenly steps in. Instead of actually getting Eggman as the main villain, too often we've been getting, hey, here's this new Monster of the Week threat, but don't worry, Eggman is still the final boss, when that's just not how you should fucking do it, you know? If you're gonna make Eggman the main villain, you gotta go all the way. And I think that's been the problem with recent titles making Eggman the main villain, is they never go all the way with it. But I think Eggman can absolutely, easily work as the main villain, whether you're confronting him directly or whether you're confronting his creation being something like the metal virus. It doesn't really matter. It's still Eggman's creation. It's still Eggman as the driving force of this, antagonistic presence, I guess,
So, I mean, just a couple things here, if you don't mind me jumping in here, because I've been thinking about there. I do think it's important to view everything in the light of, like, what Sonic Team is capable of, but I also think, like, it's important for us to, like, look at it separately as a character as well, like, the potential for his character, because, I mean, conversation with, like, what Sonic Team is capable of can be quite limiting when we're also talking, like, gameplay and the other characters and everything like that. It's like, yeah, like, we don't have a lot of faith in Sonic Team. That's one thing that does need to be talked about. But I do think that also leads in down the line of, like, what a lot of game journalists kind of portrayed over the years, and what, like, why I started pushing back as a YouTuber, which was, like, started growing into the idea of, like, oh, what if Sonic itself is the problem, And I do think that's a balance we do have to keep in those kind of discussions, because, like, the more I think about it, is like, yeah, I get where you're coming from in terms of, like, what Sonic Team can do and what they want to do with Eggman. At the same time, though, I do think we have to keep in mind, like, what Eggy, as bad as the story was, what Eggman has managed to do in terms of forces, like, how incredibly dangerous he is when Sonic is not there to fluster his plans, because I think that's a part of it. Like, a main drive of what brings a lot of faults down is, like, his sole obsession with proving he's better than Sonic. He's still like that nerd, no matter how smart and talented he is. Like, here's this super talented athlete that's wittier than him, just always flustering him up. Like, that's how I've always seen those two put together. But
it is, as I say, a separate conversation. If the question is, does Eggman work? The answer is either yes or no. It's not.
I think it's both. I think it's both. I think there's a fascinating part of that when it's like he's doing something and it grows beyond his control. I think that's a fascinating thing. But I also feel like there's, the danger of him willing to do that over and over and over again, and, like, just like the sheer talent of this man to the point where it just grows into something dangerous every time. I think is fucking great, and I think we're gonna see that next time. I think that's what they're alluding to, is like Eggman, plus now he has access to all the power of the ancients. I think we are going to see a dangerous Eggman again next time around. Whether or not he loses control of it, probably. But I think that's going to be fun to see.
Sage could work well both ways as well, because Ian Flynn himself said Sage might not be a good thing for Sonic. Like, we're right now saying, oh, Sage is reasonable. She's a reasonable aspect of who Eggman is. But, like Ian Flynn said, when Daddy's little girl wants something, like, how far is Eggman willing to go? How extreme will he go? Will he burn up the world to, look after his daughter? We're seeing, like, a side to Eggman that allows us to see a more compassionate side to him and a more ruthless side at once with Sage in the fray. Potentially.
Not to mention when you consider the fact that the best part about Eggman is that the sky's the limit with what he can do, because his weakness is hubris. At the end of the day, hubris is the only weakness that he really, truly has. The cast always has to exploit it. The minute you give him another vulnerability, you're going to be, which is right now, Sage. Sage is a vulnerable port for him. If you craft a narrative where we get to see an Eggman go completely feral over Sage, that's something we haven't been able to see before, because he's never had anything to go like that off of, at least not outside of, say, like, the Archie comics.
Yeah, if, like, something Sonic does results in, like, Sage's, temporary death or whatever, we've got a chance to see an Eggman angrier than we've ever seen him before.
I think we just have the right guy to do it, I just, like, again, like, everyone needs to read late Archie just to see how fucking sinister that guy gets, and still maintains his character at the same time. He goes hard, and I think we're gonna see it, and I'm really excited to see it.
Like, me, I root for Frontiers from the perspective of, I think it's kind of cool that they changed up Eggman's dynamic a little bit by not having him really play a villainous force in that story whatsoever, to be honest. He's kind of a threat in that game. But, like, we've got Ian Flynn in here now, so if there's any time where I want to see Eggman back as the main baddie, with Ian Flynn, yeah, I want to see it. You know, I'm ready for that. Like, oh man, it is too bad we didn't have Ian Flynn as the writer when they were working on Sonic Forces. Like,
For a lot of those games. There's a lot of cool stuff there.
I
Sorry.
want to see what Ian Flynn can do with Eggman. I'm just like, I don't know if a part of this is just me feeling an overall sense of franchise fatigue in general. I remember seeing like the initial trailer to Tears of the Kingdom, if we want to talk Zelda again, and Ganondorf being like another recurring villain that I kind of feel iffy on. Where it looked for a moment like in that initial teaser where they were showing that there was some like darker force that's kind of been in the background that we haven't really seen anything from. And if it's something that was pinning Ganondorf down, then how terrifying is this thing? You know what I mean? Is like building off of a previous threat and then make the new one stand out all the more because it's a threat to what we already had trouble dealing with in the past. And then seeing as more and more trailers came out, and it's just like, no, Ganondorf's the main bad guy again. And I'm just like, oh, cool. I've seen that before. We've been there.
I kind of hate that trope, though. I kind of fucking hate doing that. I
think
hate
what
when
they
they
did
take
in, like,
something that was
issue
like
50
a big threat. Let me finish.
Sorry.
I don't like when they take like this previous bad and then just use it as an example for, oh, but look how good it is compared to the bigger threat, as opposed to like
the measuring stick.
I'm fine.
At the same time, though, I also understand, like, hey, we've had Ganon for fucking 35 years. Let's spice it up, you know?
That's my main thing. It's like,
Right.
I don't want that for every villain, but like, we've done Ganondorf. God, we have done Ganondorf. Jesus fucking Christ, we have done Ganondorf.
And
There's
to be
nothing
fair-
new to do with him.
Yeah, and to be fair, like, we don't have, like, the Eggman problem, right? Where it's like, okay, I would love to see how Ian Flynn does Eggman.
Yeah.
We've had really well-written Ganon. Like, we're good.
Yeah.
Oh
We're
yeah,
set.
and I'm like, don't get me wrong, I like seeing Ganondorf. Listen, I don't have a problem looking at Ganondorf, but I'm just like, some of my favorite experiences in the series are when they kind of take the opportunity to do something new.
God, fucking get it, King.
You mean like in Wind Waker where we got sympathetic Ganondorf for the first time? Like real sympathetic Ganondorf?
It's not even, like, sympathetic. It's just a slight hint of it. It's so
Yeah.
good.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just a human Ganondorf. Like it's an interesting, it's the best way he's ever been written.
Yeah,
And-
dude. God, that game is so fucking good.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm really hoping that they have a trick up their sleeve with the Ganondorf of this one. I think my thing with Eggman is just that, like, he's been so present for so long that he almost kind of falls into this sort of like white noise when I see him. And I'm just, I don't know. I'm just like, I don't feel threatened by Eggman. Like, even in Forces, it felt so like, where he even literally took over the world and I had a hard time caring because it was Eggman.
I mean, the other thing, though, is also you got a hard time caring because his way of taking over the world isn't believable. It kind of comes across as...
It happens off screen.
Well,
Yeah.
it happens as like, oh, he just so happened to take over the world in this game. You know, it
also doesn't help, like, they've spent so much time with him as a character with this more lighthearted tone, and even a lighthearted tone that doesn't...
You good there, Nick?
Did we lose you for a second there?
I think we've still lost him.
Just a second. No, he's just gone.
He'll be back. Is he still visible on screen?
Yeah. Yeah, he's still there. He just kind of died. Again.
Huh. Weird.
He was making a point, too.
He was. I hope he's
He
written
was.
it down. I guess, well, while he's not saying anything, I guess I'll say that, like, I think a scenario where Eggman's won could be really cool and kind of interesting, even.
Really? I'm right here.
Oh, there you are.
Oh,
you're back
okay.
now?
We stopped hearing you
Yeah.
just altogether.
So we just got to buy it, basically.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, we can hear
Good
you
now.
now.
I mean, it didn't show that I dropped out. It didn't show anything.
Was your
different.
microphone the wrong way round again?
No.
Not this time.
Yeah, this time he was the wrong way round. He was facing the other direction.
Oh, what is this baby? Suris, what is this baby?
What?
Did you finally see it?
What is that baby?
It's from the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV Online that comes with a free trial up to level 60, including the award-winning Heavensward expansion.
Do you kill it?
You don't have to.
No,
you
it's
can
just kinda hanging out.
And you probably can just get one as a pet too.
Oh
honestly.
boy, I guess I'm playing Final Fantasy.
Oh, dude, I wonder if you could get that as a mount.
You probably can.
Okay.
You probably can get that as a mount and as a pet.
So what is this?
It's a turtle.
It's a big turtle.
He's a big old tortoise.
He's a big boy.
Big
If anyone tries to correct me saying that it's a tortoise, not a turtle, all tortoises are turtles, you dumb bitches. Anyway,
He's
So-
a big boy.
Nick, what
I
was your
forgot what I
point?
was even saying.
You
I don't even know what I was saying.
I knew
we're
it
gonna
would derail
you.
We're
Didn't
just
write it
talking
down.
about, like, I guess just losing steam on recurring.
Oh yeah,
villains,
yeah. I
suppose.
mean, like, let's not forget, like, one of the biggest complaints that the Sonic community has had for the last decade is just the writing. And I mean, keeping the same writers who they brought on to do preschool shit, to do a post-apocalyptic story, not gonna vibe.
Bad.
So
I mean, yeah. I'm gonna say this though. Like, Sonic is in a very different sort of category to Zelda, in my opinion. I mean, I haven't really played much Zelda. It might be that I play more Zelda. I'm like, nah, Ganondorf should always be present. But I kind of sit firmly in the camp of Eggman should always be present in these games because, like, it's not so much that I'd get bored of him as the villain or whatever. It's just kind of that's the formula, you know. That's just how it is. And like, I think with Sonic games, they're not expecting you to play every single one of them, you know. And like, that doesn't mean I'm against the idea of change, but I'm not against the idea of them keeping Eggman around just permanently either. He's Sonic's nemesis, you know. Like, it's a thing.
I mean,
you buy
I
a
do-
Sonic game, you got Sonic, you got Robotnik. The two will butt heads at some stage. Like, that's kind of part of it, you know. I feel like taking Eggman out of Sonic is kind of like taking a part of Sonic out of Sonic.
Nobody's asking to take Eggman out of Sonic though. Just having a couple games where, and we have had a couple games where, like, he's taken such a backseat that he doesn't even have spoken dialogue.
Well, yeah,
we've had
Frontiers. He takes a back seat.
well, Frontiers he takes a backseat, and then in one of the DS Boom games, like, he literally just
doesn't even
have
appear.
spoken dialogue.
No, he doesn't even appear in Shattered Crystal.
Yeah, but he still has a presence. Like, everybody is wary about the fact that
He
he's
could be out
still
there.
there. Like, he could be out there. I think that there are good stories that can be told without Eggman as a villain, because what happens is we run into the problem that Nick and Wayne were talking about earlier, where if you want to bring Eggman in to every story, which is possible, but you want to have this, like, really big, massive existential threat, when Eggman is basically used as the measuring stick for that. Like, hey, by the way, look at how bad this thing is in comparison to Eggman. Eggman needs to be here to help solve the problem. That's cool a handful of times, and we've had that a handful of times. The problem is that eventually you start to diminish Eggman a little bit, because, like, oh, Eggman's bad and he can cause these post-apocalyptic events, but I mean, look at Dark Gaia over here. We could have had that instead.
Well, something I'd kind of almost mentioned earlier. I think issue 50 of the IDW comics handled that pretty well. How, like, we had for a period Dr. Starline take over as the main bad guy, but then Eggman handed his fucking ass to him at the end. Like,
Yeah,
in
and,
the
like-
end, Starline was in service of Eggman. Like, Starline actually made Eggman look a lot cooler once he'd come back from his setback. I think that's the thing, is, like, every time they introduce, like, a new threat or something, it always ends up benching Eggman for the final battle or whatever. Either that or they artificially throw him into the final battle, like they did with, like, say, Forces and, you know, Lost World.
You know what I would like to see?
Go on.
So anytime I bring up a criticism like this,
Mm-hmm.
I want nothing more in the world than to be proven wrong. Yeah, that would make me legitimately happy.
Sure.
What I would like is you do a traditional, like, let's say, adventure style story. I'm thinking Sonic Adventure 2, where you start putting together that like there's a larger threat here that Eggman is just kind of like being toted along with. Okay, another good example. You play Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart?
Yeah, I
Hell
love
yeah.
that game.
So Dr. Nefarious ends up just kind of getting like tugged along behind like Emperor Nefarious.
Yes,
And
yeah,
Emperor
love that.
Nefarious, I fucking loved Emperor Nefarious. He's
dude,
awesome.
Dude, it's part of why I fucking hate Mr. Dr. Eggman in Sonic Prime. Because he should have been Eggman's Emperor Nefarious, but instead we get the most gimped out fucking tracksuit, fucking wig wearing shit, man. What the fuck?
What I would like to see is we get a story where it looks like, okay, this is Eggman getting in over his head again. This is like, this larger force that's taking advantage of him, even though he thought he was going to be able to control this. Do the other way around as the Switch. Have towards the end of the game, we get this big reveal that no,
So, like
Eggman was
Knuckles?
playing coy the entire
like-
fucking time, like Knuckles, but on a much larger level.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is like we've seen him do it that with Knuckles like once or twice, like effectively, and I'm just talking within the canon of the games.
Sure.
But we have more seen him take the back seat and then like have that flip at the end where he ends up getting overtaken by like his own plans and everything like that. I want the other way around where he was just playing the long game and it was like no, he was playing up this expectation that like the characters and we the audience have had of him of being taken advantage of by his own designs and his own great schemes and everything like that. And then at the end just have this coin flip moment where he was just like manipulating everything along the way and then ends up actually being able to use this thing's power against them and against the heroes. It was me, Sonic.
I jerked you off.
I
Don't
jerked
even
you
need
off at normal speed.
That way you felt you weren't the fastest thing around.
So it took you way too long to nut.
I still hate that there are robots that are faster than Sonic and Sonic Frontiers. That drives me fucking crazy. Drives me fucking
What do you
crazy.
mean?
Oh, the
Squid.
dog robots?
I thought they were cheetahs. But
I
like,
thought
yeah,
they were
they don't travel in packs, do
like
they?
little dog pigs. What I don't like is that there's no way out of that.
No,
If-
there's not.
If you
There's no
encounter
way out of-
them, you're just stuck.
They're
You can't
too
jump
too
over
fast.
them.
Yeah, you can't do it because they're too fast for Sonic. It's fucking stupid.
That's oh my
Fucking
god, that is a design. Like that is
I
one
don't-
that. Oh shit! Now that I think about it, yeah,
Yep.
that doesn't make any sense, does it?
So
Nope.
like I wouldn't hate it if we were given like even just a single narrative moment where Sonic admits that like holy shit, I hope Eggman never gets access to this tech because then Metal Sonic would be a real problem for
You know
me.
what's
It's
funny?
like just those shitty cheetahs from Sad AM.
Well, remember fucking the Infinite thing where he's like, he's even faster than Sonic, and it went fucking nowhere.
Yep.
Sonic,
And then
Sonic
Infinite was
insane
shown
shit.
to never be faster than Sonic ever
I mean,
again.
technically he is.
Yeah,
because,
the fucking power creep, then that doesn't matter. It's shonen shit. You guys like shonen, right? There you go,
I mean,
Sonic Forces.
technically, he goes faster than Sonic in the way that Eggman goes faster than Sonic, in that the way that Silver in Generations goes faster than Sonic, in the way that like the boss is usually ahead of you when you do the running bosses.
You know what we should do? Now we keep jumping back to him. We should just probably this was the last bit of news we didn't talk about. How about those fucking toys?
Yeah, we're getting an Infinite action figure, which makes me happy because they're not fucking shying away from Infinite merch. Now get me Mephiles, and then we're really talking. But for
we
now,
got the Mephiles plushie.
yeah, give me a figure. Give me an action figure. Oh, how the fuck would he stand
Mephistopheles.
up? He'd need a stand, wouldn't he? Because he's got no feet.
Probably, yeah.
He'd need to go up his
Yeah.
bum.
We give him little bootsies. Give him
Little
boots.
tushy one.
Wait, does Mephiles not really have feet? Have I never noticed?
He doesn't have feet.
Yeah, it doesn't have feet.
Yeah, literally in the cutscene where he's in like the lava place and like Omega's shooting at him and Shadow's there, like he's just stumbling around on these little pegs.
Oh,
It's part of
You know what
makes
they
him so
could
creepy.
do? I mean, they keep re-releasing figures. They could just do like first form Mephiles.
Yeah,
too.
they could easily just do a repaint of Shadow with no mouth.
Yeah.
Like,
and he must scream.
But like speaking of like, you know what though, I've been like really impressed with
Mouth.
Jack Specific. They've really kind of gone above and beyond. And in terms of Sonic, like a lot of that's thanks to Mike and all those guys over there that over at Sega that are working with them to get this shit
Fucking Mike.
done.
Thanks, Mike.
I mean, like I never thought I'd get a Mecha Sonic figure. Not the Mecha Sonic I want, but we still got a Mecha Sonic figure, and the mini version of that's coming out soon, which is cool. But in this current wave that's starting to hit Target, and I'm visiting every day to find these two, but we now have Jet and Super Silver, which is really cool. Because the Tommy line, when they had like those smaller figures and everything that were everywhere in Toys R Us, which I missed desperately. They had a 3-pack of the 3 Super Hogs from 06. And I found that on clearance, but then I had to sell it just, because I don't know, I was tight on bills that month. This was a long time ago. But like now with this figure, I now have even better versions of those guys. Like I've recollected my Super Hogs thanks to Jax, and that makes me feel all warm and tickly inside. And I'm
Nick,
very
if
happy to
you-
see Infinite.
If you run into an Infinite, do you reckon you could pick him up for me and I pay you?
If I find a second one, sure. First one's going to me.
Why the fuck? You don't even like Infinite. Get out of here.
Yes, I do.
No,
I'm the
you
only one
don't.
who's
I am
sung his praises.
What are you talking about? I am the only one who praises anything in this bloody franchise.
I mean,
Anyways,
yeah, no. I'll keep an eye out for a second one
Keep
for
an
you,
eye
bud.
out for a second Infinite. I missed out
Yeah.
on Chaos, sadly it seems. He's out of stock.
No,
everywhere you go.
no. I think you're gonna be just fine with Chaos. The thing about the Sonic figures is, no matter how rare they are for the first wave, they usually come back around in stores. So like, I thought it was gonna be impossible to find Ray, for instance, but like I see him every day at Walmart.
Okay.
Like they're a couple of waves behind all the time. So Chaos is gonna show up.
What do you reckon he tastes like?
Blue raspberry.
I kind of want a story where someone like makes Chaos fall in love with them, and when they go to make out, they just slurp him down like hydrating.
Do you guys notice this too, though? Like, I mean, everyone's talking about Infinite. I think it's fascinating that everybody hates Forces, but everybody's excited to see Infinite.
I just had
because we want to see him written good.
I just had a
Yeah.
thought of how Chaos could actually defeat Eggman once and for all. He hides in Eggman's toilet as the water crawls up his asshole and just expands.
There you go. Nailed it. At Jax, something else I didn't know was already hitting store shelves. The Mario movie toys are out. And they've gone hard, man. Like, holy shit.
I mean, you kind of have to. I'm still waiting for them to reveal, because are they still pushing like DLC tracks for Mario Kart 8?
I mean, the
believe
next
so
wave is
recently,
coming
yeah.
out 9th.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, huge. We saw like a unique version of Rainbow Road in the trailer. Like, dude, if you're not making like the movie version of Rainbow Road like as a DLC track for Mario Kart 8, what the fuck are you doing?
Will Nintendo
I think they're gonna do something like
what
that.
Sega don't?
Yeah,
They're gonna do that, yeah.
that marketing makes itself. Like, come on.
They work so closely with Nintendo, it would be weird if we don't see some kind of cross promotion or Amiibo figures. I would bet we'd get Amiibo figures for the movie versions.
Yeah, that could happen. That could happen.
I'm holding. because I was talking about it because like while we were talking about the toys, I realized like I'd bought some of them yesterday. First thing I found was a Koopa, so I got my Koopa, which I
Koopas.
love. But I got Bowser because I love his design. I now own Jack Black Bowser, just like I own a Ryan Reynolds Pikachu, which is just I love it. And he's so well designed, man. Like this figure is so beefy, and I love his fucking face. And the smaller figures, like I got a Luigi too. They've got glass eyes.
That's awesome.
They're really, really well designed. I really like them.
So to celebrate the release of the Super Mario movie, Chris Pratt will be returning to Fortnite as Star-Lord. So look forward to that.
Yeah, I just like I'll get a crisp rat Mario someday,
A crisp
but like
rat.
they're $20 a pop.
No,
so-
no.
Crisp,
No.
crisp
A
rat
crisp
Mario.
rat.
Crisp rat.
He's a crisp rat. Crispy.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's the
crisp-
joke. Yeah.
That's
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 amazing.
been a joke on Twitter for like ever, man.
That's
Where have you
actually
been?
amazing. I've never heard that before.
Well, I'm glad we were here to be with you when you first discovered it, because I too giggled when I saw it.
That's made me chortle a little.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. So toys are happening. That's pretty cool. I'd say this is like the healthiest run of Sonic toys I've ever seen in my life. I thought the Tommy ones were kind of nuts. I really like the packaging of the Sonic Generation stuff, but like it all hit at once when Generations hit, and then kind of teetered out from there. I think the last thing they did was like the Boom stuff.
Oh, so just as a footnote, we're also getting a cream figure. There we go.
I was actually going to get to that. It's like, have you guys noticed, like, we don't actually, like, if you think about it, there's not a lot of, like, cream anywhere in the franchise anymore. Which is weird.
She does get a lot of fun moments in the comics, but, like, inside the games themselves, I think Heroes is probably the last time she's been significant, isn't it?
If you don't count Generations, but in Generations is like...
Nobody's significant in Generations.
Yeah, significance in Generations is very weird. But, like, she got a speaking role. You know, that's more than can be said for most of her other modern non-appearances.
I might just be a heartless monster because I'm not fond of children, but I've never given a shit about Cream.
I haven't either, but...
In Rush I did. I enjoyed her in Rush. Like, she was fun in Rush.
She was it's too forced, right? I don't know. Her character is just, it's
trying too hard to be cute.
Saccharine. Yeah, it's trying too hard.
Like,
I
like,
to her, man.
Like, if you ask me, like, you know, who's cuter between fucking Cream and, say, Klonoa, who's not trying quite so fucking hard. Klonoa is the easy fucking answer to that. He's adorable. He's a precious Scrimblow Scrunkly, you know, a Scrimblow Bimblow, the lovable Scrunkle.
Oh, Noah's a good boy.
He's a good boy.
I want to adopt him.
Me too. At least we're getting an Android, which is kind of rad.
Oh, hell yeah. Those will be arriving soon.
Yeah! I've got it on pre-order. I'm so excited.
I've got mine pre-ordered too,
I'm pretty sure I have mine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have mine pre-ordered. I was trying to find another pre-order. This is completely off topic, but I just realized I ordered from Iron Studios a tiger striped Velociraptor from the Lost World. It's my favorite design for the raptor, but I can't find it anywhere. It says I have 70 points for ordering it, but I don't see my pre-order anywhere. So where's my fucking raptor? Anyway.
Just like my Fan Jam ticket. Not Fan Jam. It wasn't Fan Jam. It was the other one. Revolution.
Yeah. Guys, speaking of shows.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I'm done talking Sonic. Do you guys want to talk Road Trip?
Yeah.
So just so you guys know,
it's gonna be
if you want to keep
fun
hanging out
being
with us,
there with you guys. Looking forward to it.
Aren't you literally going to be here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Shut up.
Your one joke backfired.
So I mean, Pup is in a very, you know, spicy in between, and I'm glad you're like settled with your homie right now. But like when we thought Ghost was on his way out, he really wanted to see him again, so we figured out how to get him over here. Pup is helping me with editing. Spoilers for Mecha March Madness. We're probably gonna actually have a consistent workflow, thanks to our friend here who's working on something special I don't want to talk about yet for another friend of ours. I'm really excited for that to come out. But yeah, no, we figured out like we're getting Pup over here. He's gonna be at PAX with me and Suris, and since we're gonna be over there, I mean, Pup and I were talking the other day, and we both realized like we haven't bought tickets back to my area.
Well, first things
yet.
first, we're going to PAX. Like, so we'll be going to Boston.
Right. So we're going to Boston, but like I haven't bought my plane ticket yet, and I was trying to figure out what time you're coming to San Francisco so we can match up. And then when you said I didn't have it yet, then we kind of started talking a bit more, and we're like, hey, we could extend our trip on the East Coast a bit, go and see Wayne, and maybe see more of that part of the country.
We also had some of that signature Sunset City miscommunication in there as well. The conversation basically.
No, I knew what you were doing.
What time are you landing in San Francisco?
Like,
no, I wasn't doing anything, Nick. I was just answering you. You were like, "What time are you landing in San Francisco?" I was like,
"No,
I'm landing in Boston." You're like, "I'm gonna try that again." What time are you landing in San Francisco? Nick, I'm landing in Boston.
I wasn't going to give it to you, man. I was waiting for you to figure out. I told you while you were here. There are going to be times where I mishear. I will apologize when I do that.
Bitch.
But when I know what I'm saying,
bitch,
and you're not catching up with me.
If I were to book a flight to San Francisco I would surely coordinate it with you, wouldn't I? You big silly. You goose.
That's silly here. I asked you a straightforward question.
And I gave you the straightforward answer that
No,
I'm
you
flying in to Boston.
And I gave you a rhetorical answer.
I
Oh my
told you
God.
I was coming.
We already talked
to
about
Boston.
San Francisco because you're like, hey, should I fly to your town or San Francisco?
Well, yeah, but I didn't
was like,
fucking
look,
buy
I will
the
make the
ticket. I never
drive.
told you I bought the ticket, did I?
This is not my
It's
fault. I asked you a
inference.
basic
Why
fucking
would
question.
I not coordinate?
You're not winning this, pup.
I am.
You're not
so,
winning this.
if I'm not winning this, then that's just the history. Of
I
the
like that.
world, isn't it?
We're completely off the rails now.
We are.
Let's get back to it.
No,
So
let me
flying
try
into
this
Boston is what I
again.
was trying to say.
But like, I don't know. Like, I figured. Well, you guys figured. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, we could probably go to New York City, like properly.
We can.
Like, that'd be fucking
Dude,
sick.
can we go to Joe's Pizza? It was the place that
We're
was in
going-
Spider-Man 2.
Dude, I'm going to every.
Yeah, I know, but can we make sure we go to Joe's?
I'm not leaving New York City. I'm dying of a heart attack, baby.
But can we
Oh my
still
God.
make sure we go to Joe's, though? Yeah, like, because that was in
Yeah,
Spider-Man
dude,
2.
no, like that's what I wanted to talk with you about. Like, what spots would we have to go to? Got to go to
Joe's.
Spider-Man spots.
Joe's
I got to go
Pizza.
to a Ninja Turtle spot for sure. Maybe the Ghostbusters place. I don't give that much of a shit. But like Ninja Turtles, for sure.
they
I got to
have
find the abandoned subway.
Do they have an M&M store there? Because we got one in London, and it would be fun to compare.
You know what they do have that I want to go to? They have a Nintendo World Store there, don't they?
I don't want to go to an M&M store. I'm just pointing that
If
out.
you go to the Nintendo store and you see anything Metroid related, hit me up.
I'm going to do my best to just grab you and steal you, Wayne.
I don't know if you can get me all the way to New York. That would be like what, this month?
That would be this month, but like it would
Well,
literally
like,
be.
It starts this month. You know?
I can't get that kind of time off with that kind of notice, man.
Really?
Well, like
it's a few
I mean, like,
weeks.
it's the end of the month, right? And then like
Hmm.
the show, like PAX ends the 26th.
We're already dealing with some. We already don't know what the scheduling situation is with
What if
my.
I told you that's
my
not
store
your
right now?
problem, buddy? Come on, get
It
in the car.
literally is my problem. I
Nah,
managed.
It's only a
the store.
problem to make it your problem. Come on, get in
Check
the
this
car.
out,
No.
Wayne. Check this out. I'll cover some of those shifts so you can go on the trip with us. How about that, buddy?
Why not just do
Yeah,
both? Come on the trip and go to work. You know.
Believe me, nothing would make me happier than being able to join you guys. I can't. Not.
Wayne, just put a sign on your store, lock it up, put a sign on the store. Let's say, look, everyone's buying digital anyway, and then just leave.
Let's
God
bully Wayne until he
damn.
comes with bully, 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 bully.
It's another turtle.
bully, rocking everywhere.
I want that one. Oh, look at the baby.
What if we were to like, I don't know, like kidnap you? Then like work can't get mad at you, you know, and then you just don't press charges. Simple.
But like Wayne, like at the end of the 26, not to put your work schedule too much on blast here.
Oh, I'll put it on blast.
Oh.
Fuck you and your work schedule. Get the fuck out of here. Come on, come to New York.
No, but I'm wondering, is there anywhere near the end of the month we could at least see you and hang out with you for a bit, and I could eat the bagels nearby your place?
Dude, fucking absolutely. Like, I can get a day or two. I just can't get enough time to like go visit New York. Like, trust me, Suris and I were talking about the possibility of me trying to join you guys for PAX.
I was
And
literally going like, what if I just picked you up and took you?
Yeah, between scheduling and money, I just can't make it work.
No, I don't blame you.
Breaks my heart, but yeah.
Here's what we're gonna do. Everybody in the chat right now, we need you to help get Wayne to be a full-time YouTuber. He just hit 12,000, so congrats, buddy. First off,
Yeah, thank you.
Good job, Wayne.
we need everybody to spread the word of Wayne, the good word. Word is boss.
The bird is the
I'll-
bird.
I don't want to get into too many specifics, but I will say that I have more incentive recently than before to have more availability, so that would be awesome.
So let's get this boy to at least a part-time thing so he can survive off both of these things at the very least. You need a little bit more free time than managing shit.
I just need to actually upload again. That'd be cool.
Yeah, but you also need more free time.
Yeah,
You also need more free time.
Yeah,
I do
you're
need more
overworked.
time.
You're overworked for what you're getting paid.
You are.
Absolutely.
Ow.
You are definitely.
Yeah.
We'll save the intervention for later. We'll talk later, Wayne.
This is no.
Wayne is his own boss.
This is the intervention.
But
Let them look.
yeah, let's I mean, it's a shame Gilly's not here today. I do want to actually coordinate with him because he does live in the New York area. So I would love to figure out how we can go see Wayne and then figure out New York. I think the biggest problem we'll have with New York is lodging.
I'm walking here. That the guy that says that will be a problem.
Like, I don't know if we have any friends in the area we could stay with, or we just need to pony up for a cheaper
Why
hotel
don't we
in
stay
that
at
area.
Gilly's? We can ask him.
No, that's not going to work. That I know for a fact that one won't work.
Okay, then we're yeah, that's the end of that conversation. So that's fine. But yeah,
You know, I'm sure
That's
there's
all
a
I got.
tent store somewhere. Like,
I
Central
mean,
Park
have you
can't
seen
be that
that-
bad,
it's
right?
not.
Have you
It's not.
seen-
A
Have you seen
tent store.
look, all right, look. If the Ninja Turtles taught me anything, and if any city in the that I visited in the United States have taught me anything, you could very much survive on the streets. There's like whole homeless communities in New York City, like underground ones. I've watched documentaries. I kind of want to be a part of it. I kind of want to be a little scroungy street rat. No,
Okay.
just me. You guys don't want to hang out with mutant animals?
I don't know if I've ever wanted to be a street rat, man.
Yeah, right.
I don't-
Even in
I do
Wayne,
wanna-
I
I
don't
don't
buy
that.
Very
I wanna
well
be-
to avoid rough sleeping in London, and I don't.
I want to
intend
be
start
I
in
want to be
New York.
scroungy though. I'll be scroungy.
I just quoted the Aladdin song and nobody laughed.
Yeah, because Aladdin is silly.
I'm gonna be honest, and never my favorite Disney movie. I've seen it like twice.
I think it's a good movie, but like,
Wayne, you have so many good opinions, and then you got to bitch out like this on me. What is going on here? God damn.
I don't know. I thought Aladdin was aight. I'm more Treasure Planet kid.
need I remind us all that Wayne is the guy that hates Toy Story?
I love toy. What?
No,
what?
you hate it. Shut up.
What? I've like exclusively come to the
Nah,
defense of Toy Story 4 because I
no,
think that movie's a lot better than people give it credit
You
for.
hated it, and I love Toy Story 4. You hate it.
Yeah, okay.
I think Twitter is just, not real life. I think
Yeah, I've always
there's a
found it
reason why
weird,
Toy
like-
Story 5 is going to come out.
I
So.
can understand people not getting much enjoyment out of Lightyear, but I don't get why people think it's a piece of shit. Like, I think it's great.
That movie
I don't
is
think it's a piece
exactly.
of shit. It's exactly like I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, but like,
It
people
is.
make out
It
that
is
it's, like,
exactly what I thought. It's exactly what the original trailer made it feel like it was gonna be.
I just
Yeah.
find it weird how people make it out like to be some objectively
was-
bad thing. It's like there's nothing really wrong with it. It's just
It,
What side
it
of
was
Twitter are you on?
It was a kid friendly Interstellar.
yeah,
That's
it
what
was good shit, my
Oh, anti-apologist, you just exposed yourself.
Was he-
'cause
what-
we have
what-
your currency.
Was he? Oh, really?
Just gave us a super chat. Thank you, by the way. But I can cross-reference that with past super chats.
I mean, it could be a brand new person.
I don't think so.
Could be a brand new
I-
experience.
It wouldn't be.
Or maybe it's not the same anti-apologist, because the other one goes by Dick now, you know?
So
It's not
we
me,
can
I'm saying that much. I don't...
so we can confirm it's not MODOK.
It's a My name is Darren.
And I'm not a dick.
I love the MCU trope of, they said that thing at the beginning of the movie, and then they said it at the end of the movie too. Oh man, I love that. No, the joke, I don't. Love
Idle
that.
drop, everybody.
He said it.
So should we plan on leaving from New York City, Pup? Do you want to do that?
I mean, let's think about it. I do want to take into account things like lodgings, because I really don't want to sleep rough or anything like that.
Well, I don't want to sleep rough either, but if you keep helping me with editing, would you be fine with me helping cover your lodging and maybe some food and shit like that?
I mean,
on
yeah,
this
shit.
trip?
I mean, like, yeah, if you want to do that, then that's fine by me. I'll be your little work.
Okay, because
slave,
like
why not?
we're not gonna leave you. We're not gonna leave you hanging, man. Like that's just not how we roll.
Yeah,
What
because
is-
it's as I say, I've had to be quite careful with like finances and obviously the optics of this whole thing. Because obviously, when I first, got to the position of being kind of legally homeless as I am now, a lot of people came to my
Yeah.
a lot of people
go
came
ahead.
to my aid, and a lot of people made donations. And I want to make clear that absolutely none of that is to go towards anything like a trip or anything frivolous like that. That's strictly for like living circumstance stuff, you know? Like, so yeah, if you guys are able to send work my way so I can, you know, pay out of that, then that would, you know, be great. But I promise.
I think you're more. I
I'm
think
not
you're more
touching-
worried about backlash that's never going to happen.
It's not that. I'm
think you'll be
literally
fine.
just clarifying that, like, I don't want to spend more than I have, basically, and I have no intentions of dipping into that savings pot.
No, we get it, man. Like, there's a reason why we're helping this particular journey along. Like,
Yeah.
everyone gets that. Like,
Which I appreciate.
anybody who's helping you out doesn't want you to just stay in that.
Well, no, but
fucking
I
state
don't want it to
forever.
be like, you know, we get out
Again-
there and we don't expect, or I don't anticipate a hotel cost for something, and then suddenly
Sure,
have to dip
sure,
into that.
sure.
That's basically what I'm saying.
Sure. Yeah, no, I get that. 100%. 100%. Yeah, we're well aware of your living situation right now. Like, we're not gonna. Yeah, you're fine. Who's the fallen redditor?
I don't know.
Mm.
They're the only ones
Like,
I'm
I
seeing
guess-
that have
I
been
guess
using
they're-
that currency.
I guess they're not on Reddit
Um,
anymore.
So
Well,
this
'cause I
does
could
this.
I'm just scrolling up through our
Fucking
past
hell,
ones
Wayne.
here.
That was very simple, and I appreciate it.
So
Thanks.
in terms of the trip plans, the question is, would it be better to take the plane from New York, or would it be better to extend the trip from New York, going down to see Wayne, and then taking a trip from Virginia? Taking the plane from Virginia.
I would probably say, I think it's cheaper to get it from New York than it is Virginia, from when I last checked. Is Virginia not on the way to New York, or is Virginia south of New York?
Virginia's south of New York.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and
Fuck.
it's so from my house to Wayne's house, we've got about a 9 to 10 hour drive. There's another, or I do. There's another 10 hours from there to Boston, and then Boston is east or northeast of New York. So it's going down to grab Wayne and like going up to New York isn't a thing that can happen if we want to see Wayne, but going to New York and then going down to Virginia afterwards, that's possible.
I think
That's a
probably
more
wiser.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Okay.
not like
Yeah, I like that.
unaffordable. I will like have luggage, so we can't do a repeat of the Frontier thing, where it's like stick everything in a shopping bag.
Not to mention, I can just put up the inflatable bed in the car. when
Well,
we're
I'm
driving.
sending you home with more of your shit too. So just a heads up.
Thank fucking God, I want my gun.
I think
I was
Nerf
talking.
gun.
I was talking about pup. I don't know about you.
I do
Oh.
have to mention that I don't actually have a lot of space where I currently am. I will try and take what I can, and I do appreciate that, you know, obviously that's your space. So if you really want it out of your place, I'll try and figure something out.
I'm not super worried about storing stuff, but you should also just take advantage. Like if you're gonna be here, take advantage of
No,
it.
of
Take some
course,
your
of
stuff
course.
with
It's
you,
just
know?
I'm also of the understanding that, like, I'm in my friend's tiny studio apartment. Like,
Yeah. I get you. Well, there we go. Wow, look at us. We're productive. We're productive bitches.
we just had a meeting about a trip on air for everyone to listen to.
Look at that. I mean,
Yeah.
like we've not sat in a room together all week. Like
We
Yeah.
haven't sat in a room together.
also not the
since
first
fucking
time we've done that.
November.
But for fuck's sake,
Hey,
you
hey,
guys
hey,
know.
hey, 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 you should think
Pedantic
twice
motherfuckers.
about what you say. Hey,
Yeah, no, I know. I do Sonic videos on the internet.
hey, silly.
People just can't infer anything. No, Nick has to explain every little goddamn detail. and point out every
or
fucking Easter egg.
I'm a vulture.
What?
What?
Look at the turtle! Oh my god! Holy shit! Look at that!
Yep, it's a mount that it actually can fly when you hit level 50. Apparently,
Holy shit!
Should we?
Yeah.
As all tortoises do when they get 50 years old.
You should
Yep.
you should play Final Fantasy 14 with us, Nick.
before
I'm going
we-
to.
Before
I,
we,
that is all I need. That is all I need. I'm going to.
before we move to super chats, should we shill for our patron at all?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? We didn't do what I said we were going to do last week, and I feel horrible about
Oh, what
it.
the
So
question thing?
we need to have a set space for our patrons to ask priority upfront questions.
Yeah, sorry about that, patrons. We have been having a little bit of growing pains.
While we are here, Pup, if you want to help us with, well, I mean, anybody who knows Discord a little bit better than I do, does anybody want to help build a room where we do that? Something
I guess so, but I think we should also have that open to just the patron website as well, in case we've got patrons who are in that tier that don't want or have Discord, you know?
Right, but I'm saying like let's cover all of our bases there, because like we can have a room that only people of that tier can put a question in there about.
Okay. Yeah. I was thinking
And
it
then-
should be more a post on Patreon, really, but like, yeah, we can do that still.
Let's just do both. Why don't we do both?
Doing both is gonna muddy it up, isn't it? Like, everyone has access to the Patreon, yet only a certain amount of people will have access.
Yeah,
to
but
the
some people
Discord.
don't. Some, I mean, like I've just from my own experience with Patreon, not everybody even. Some people are just there to support. You know, they don't actually go to the Patreon website. They don't want to deal with that. They prefer to just hang out on Discord or on YouTube or shit like that.
Oh, that
So you know,
reminds
just
me
make it
as
as
well.
convenient as possible for the folks that are supporting us.
We need to add the tip jar to the description and to the link tree. We'll sort that out later.
I've also gone
The
ahead
whole-
and made the Patreon questions thing in the Discord. The only thing that's left is for us to set up roles for people who are patrons of a certain tier, so that we
We've
can
actually
give them
got that.
those roles.
That's a thing. I've done that role.
All right,
It's-
let's edit channels then.
It's just it's
Permissions.
not automatic. Let's have a look. If I go to roles, and I'll tell you which role is it, so you know who to assign. Oh, pooey! I opened the wrong thing. Hang on. Right. Server settings.
Jesus, there's so much of
Enter
them.
password. Piss.
Why do
bitch
we have so
69.
many?
So just tell me what's the name of the? Do you know the name of the role?
Yeah, hell yeah, I do. Hang on.
So we have
Why-
Linda.
It's Linda is the name of the role.
That
That's
is the
it?
name of the role.
Yeah, Linda is the name of the role.
All right.
Got added
Do,
there.
do you
Cool.
like that I gave Stuart Jip a role called gaming journalist in brackets? Yuck.
Why did you give him the green one? I want the green one.
No, but I can't control what color the podcaster one gets. That's in
Yeah, you
Suris'
can.
control. I can't. No. That's locked to me. Only Suris can do the administrative role, the top.
Suris.
It's it's not even his fault.
Yeah.
It's not even his fault. Like
Hold on.
we've got as many privileges as he can give us.
I'm fine with blaming Suris for stuff.
That's not.
I'm a big fan of justice.
Oh.
I've also set the guest stars as the Zeti as well. So
there we go.
we need
There you-
moderators as well.
There you go, Nick. You happy now?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
All right. Well, I
Wait,
think
why are there
we've-
only 3 podcasters here now? Wait, hold on, Nick.
Because
because
there's only three online.
3 members. There's only 3 members in our podcast.
Oh yeah,
there's,
no, you're
there's
right.
three key members.
Three
key members.
But yeah, but there's also 3 online as well. They wouldn't
Yes.
show up if they weren't online, you see.
Yeah, we do only have 3 people here right
Wait,
now.
actually, no, Nick, why are you not... Oh, yeah, because you... Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Alright, well, shall we move on to Les Super Chats?
I think so.
Okay, I'll start us off
Yeah.
with Burger. Mr. SP sends $10, celebrating a very successful brain surgery this week. Glad to the boys back again to keep me entertained. You guys are the absolute best. Don't ever change. Don't listen to him. You guys really need to fucking change. But thank you so much, Mr. SP, for the $10.
Well, congratulations on the surgery. I'm glad
Yeah,
that went well.
Brain surgery. Did it hurt?
Damn.
Does it still
Damn,
hurt?
dude.
What did they do to your head? Did you get like the cybernetic augmentation that will turn you into the supreme mechanical organism made for killing, designed for killing, MODOK?
Yo, Nick, you want to take the next super chat?
Yeah, I think I've confirmed Fallen Redditor as our anti-apologist.
Well, there you go.
There we go. There we go. All right. Let me get over to the mailbag. Can you burger me?
Of course.
Ah!
Burger. Linda.
Hey Nick, will November ever come back again? Maybe. It just I don't like to force content, you know. So I didn't feel the need to cover Knuckles stuff because Frontiers was coming out, and then November got as busy as it was, so I didn't even cover it when I wanted to. So maybe we're gonna do Archie very soon. So maybe we just do all the Archie comics in November. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Suris.
Next one we have is from Sonic Fan 1661. Thank you for the $2. Time to watch my favorite trio talk about Sunk.
Yeah, 3 key members. All right.
Which one is it? I can't tell. I can't.
It's the one
which
from.
one is the?
It's the one from OzJam H. It was posted by Suris just below your last one.
You bitch. Anyway, we got OzGMH with $5. This does not translate to the format of our podcast.
So fucking funny.
OzGMH with $5 was seeing a lot of March birthdays more than usual online, so wanted to say happy birthday to anyone in chat and Suris as well, and to me on Sunday. Well, happy early birthday, OzGMH.
In
Yeah,
fact,
I'm
given
sorry.
that OzJam is like an Aussie, like it's probably already his birthday now, right? Like, because of the time zone difference. So, happy birthday, OzJam.
No, I don't think that's that much of a
No,
time
happy
difference.
birthday, happy birthday.
So
OzJam.
hang on. No, like I went and said happy birthday to Bob, but Suris, your birthday was yesterday, wasn't it?
I did introduce him as the belated birthday boy.
What an attention-seeking bitch wanting to celebrate
well,
his
no.
birthday today as well. Jesus fucking Christ.
No, he's just been so fucking quiet about it. But Suris, happy birthday, man.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Happy 58th birthday, Suris.
Yeah, I'm
I'm sorry I
balding,
was not
dying.
available to play video games last night.
That's okay. Fuck you.
Yep, fair enough. Anyway,
For your birthday, I will give you a discount off of your next purchase.
Up, your turn.
No. Okay, so Relaxed Hoodie sends $4.99. Starboard Burger is just an off-brand generator Rex. I really missed that show.
OzJam, I'm American.
It's Starborg. Borg.
Well, why
like
are you
Cyborg.
called OzJam and not Yank Jam, for fuck's sake?
I mean, just again, pay attention to the currency. It helps solve
I
problems.
don't know what they use in Australia. They probably just use dollars with an upside-down dollar sign.
What?
What?
Don't worry about it. That's fine.
Pup saying
All right.
words? No wonder I'm confused.
All right, let's see. OzJam H with $5. Thank you. Welcome to Moonrise Village, where we have Network Cat, Work Critic, Guiz the Gullible, Wallace is Employee, and Billy the Man.
Billy the Man.
Billy the Man is actually a really good name.
I love that name, actually. Billy the Moran.
Billy the
Oh, we made him one.
Yeah, we did. All right.
We're fucking stupid.
Sonic Fan Sonic Fan again. Sonic Fan 1661. Turn pup into a V pet. I don't want to get rabies.
That would be a great.
I was
bit of
wondering what you
merch.
were going to bloody say there, but I mean, Botan already turned me into a marketable gimmick, so I mean, why not? You know, like.
Just like a real V pet, he never goes to sleep. Well, no, they actually do go to sleep, don't they?
They take the big sleep.
No, so
Sometimes they
here's
do
the
the
thing.
long sleep.
Especially if you don't change the little CR2032 battery.
Well, see, here's the thing: is like last week, people were like, "Did Pup have coffee?" No, last week I was on reserve power, like because I'd only had like 1 hour of sleep that night, and like when I'm on reserve power, I think slower, so I put more words in between, so I can think. So I'll be like, listen, guys,
Right,
listen, yo, what? So here's the thing here, and while I'm doing that, I'm thinking, you know, I'm processing. My little brain sponge isn't very hydrated on those nights, you know.
Yep, I definitely think people that are rambling are definitely using their brain a whole lot. And
No,
not
that's
making
what
up
I'm
for
saying. That's
the
what I'm
lack
saying
of
is the brain sponge is a little dry, you know.
My brain
We need-
sponge is dry.
My brain sponge is moist.
it. Real moist.
Moister than an oyster.
Real moist.
It's dripping
Wetter
with
than an otter's pocket.
Goofy, do you like the word moist?
Goofy. Do you like the song Like the Wind?
Goofy, do you like my wife's brain sponge?
Sorry,
I
is
don't
it my
mind.
is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. I got
Oh,
Mr.
HP.
SP. Wait. I got Mr. SP with $3.03. stupid. You're stupid. You stupid. You're stupid, man. I can see Sonic Adventure 3 coming within the next two main
Hot
lines.
dog.
They can't see this. They
And it's
cannot
so
see
fucking
this happening.
funny.
One of these days, we got to put a screenshot of some of the super chats online, just so people can have some idea.
We
what
just
the
have to
fuck's going
record
on.
it. We just have to record it, just
Just
so like
the-
if we
the
ever do
little
like a
emojis.
supercut, we'd have to do a supercut of the show sometime.
We
Like
can
the
put
best
that.
of.
We can make that a Patreon reward. See what the fuck this burger shit's all about.
Oh God, it's your turn, pup.
It is, isn't it? Huh. Burger. So Roy Scott, hey, it's Roy. Sends $5. Roy's the guy we took a picture in the toilet with at Revolution. Still super
was a
grateful to have
Great moment.
met Nick and Pup at Sonic Rev. See ya. Told you. Who would have known? Hope to see Suris and Wayne next time. Not gonna happen. Happy B-Day to my fellow superfan, Mr. Steve. Oh, happy birthday, Mr. Steve.
Birthday cake.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you ain't kidding. Let's see. Birthday cake. There it is. Linda.
I'm birthday to the cake.
Don't get so close. Got the wiggles.
Get my back.
Stay the fuck away
He's
from
about my batter. He's my batter.
Alright, anyways, you're up with Ozjam.
$5. Thank you, Ozjam. Again. Please vote for the Gamer Juice Party instead of the demo crab tricks and the real public cans. What? Here, we're maniacs and punch a Muncel moon. Oh,
Is this the brain surgery talking? Did they re-augment you into a fucking AI? Like, what is
I think
this?
we're still in the anti-universe of our show. This is so weird. That reminds me, though, we're getting a localized release of Crab Fight,
What?
and that's amazing.
Nice.
That
What
game's
is a-
so fucking
What does a
stupid.
reverse version of Wayne look like?
Yeah.
A man.
A hairy top.
It's the bear.
Oh.
He's a big old bear. Got a bear burger.
Wayne is bear.
Evil
does
Wayne be
bear.
like, I'm not a little bitch.
Damn.
Evil Wayne be like, this attack has been brought down through the strong arm legacy.
What the fuck was that?
I couldn't
Full Metal
remember the-
Alchemist
Full Metal
Brotherhood.
Alchemist.
Oh, you
Yeah.
fucking nerds.
Yeah.
All right, whose turn is it?
It's mine. I'm pretty sure. I think it's mine now.
It's
Regardless.
yours.
Fine. Fuck up. Dazzle Fizzle. At least I think that's the one we're on. Thank you very much for the $5. Sonic Forces deserved to be a much bigger game than it was, and now we've wasted its premise on a budget title.
You ain't
I don't think the-
shit in Dazzle Fizzle.
I'm fairly certain that much like what IDW did with recognizing that the events of Forces happened and then piggybacking off of them, I'm pretty sure that you could make a game where Eggman takes over the world and Forces is referenced, and he literally just goes, "No, I know what mistakes I made then. This is a do-over," and it could actually have narrative significance.
Eggman will be like, hey Lois, remember the time I took over the world? Yeah, freaking sweet.
Something like that, sure, yeah. Anyway, I think I'm up next. With Sonic Fan 1661.
Mhm.
All right. $2. Maybe Wayne would like to do Ganondorf liquid emoji.
I mean, that was the joke, man.
As in, like, fluids. Bodily.
Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and mince words. Ganondorf's a daddy.
You could get some.
So you're just
pig
gonna
juice.
sit here and mince instead.
That's a juicy.
You don't want to mince words. You want to mince meat.
I'm gonna go
I'm not
ham
answering
with that. He's got that Triforce of power.
So, it is now me. With Erwin
That's all, folks.
Guerra. $5. There's some parallels to be made between Eggman and Gerald, and Sage and Maria. Would he blow up the world for revenge? Ooh!
That's a good point.
Ooh,
I mean, that's a good point. Like
idea.
seeing I think that's worth exploring because we did see a little bit of another side of Eggman a little bit with his reflections on Maria, which I really liked. I really, really liked that. Like that was like the perfect use of the egg shit. I thought was just like, fuck, man. Like, what about me? Like, it's the subtle little hints of his history and like why he is the way he is. It's just perfect. And like Gerald, you can further explore that because the whole game treats him like this saint, like this decent, good man. And you wonder why is Eggman the way he is, and then you
Eggman's
see the
just like,
sinister side of him.
I
at the end
wouldn't
of the
say
game.
no to kissing my father on the lips for an action, man.
For
You
God's
kiss-
sakes.
You
But
kiss
like,
your dad on the mouth.
I think that's fascinating, though. I
Like,
really do.
God,
I
you
think that's a
shit with
great
that
point.
ass.
Like, how far would he go, considering what Gerald went, like what he went and did, just because of Maria? Like, what would Eggy do if he lost that same kind of love in his life? That's fascinating. I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that.
All right, well, Nick, you're up with Oz Jam Age.
With another $5, thank you. The game stories issue
Monkey.
is that there was never a defined universe from the beginning, along with it being a continuous series as well, at least to me. Well, yeah, I mean the whole idea was like we don't properly define anything, so we always have space to add more. But that becomes a problem later on when you want to do a bigger story like Metal Virus, for instance. You want to know the effect on the world? Well, you need to know the world. So, I mean, again, that's the issue with Frontiers as well. So yeah, they do need to make the world a little bit more defined, but that is going to make it, unfortunately, a little bit smaller when and if they do.
All right, Suris, you're up.
Next one's from Dazzle Fizzle. Sonic versus Mario movie when?
Burgers.
It depends on how hard. It depends on how hard the Mario movie leans into being an isekai.
Well,
If it leans,
we just have to wait until Zack Snyder finishes up with Rebel Moon, and then he'll be right on it. With Mario v Sonic, Dawn of Smash.
Yeah, I'd like it done by the Godzilla versus Kong guys. I think because they actually had fights, which was nice.
You know what had more fights?
Hmm.
King of the Monsters.
Yeah, Kong's
That-
more fun. That was a more fun movie for me.
And you think so? Jeez, I thought it was fucking boring.
Godzilla versus Kong?
Yeah. I was so excited because I loved King of the Monsters, and then I spent like the majority of Kong versus Godzilla just waiting for fucking something to happen. Versus like King of the Monsters, where it was a new like enormous kaiju just wrecking shit just by being present like every like 20 minutes. It was awesome. And then Godzilla versus Kong was just like, okay, we're gonna have them show up every once in a while. Every fight's gonna be really short. And then Mechagodzilla at the end is just gonna look stupid.
So anyway,
I liked all of those build-ups. I thought they did a great job actually sprinkling in the fights. I'm gonna give you this though. I've only seen fucking King of the Monsters one time. I remember having a good time. I think we can at least both agree though. Fucking Godzilla 2014. Holy shit, got so goddamn boring until the end of the movie.
Yeah, and I feel like I enjoyed it for what it was, but I wanted to enjoy it more than I did. Probably the best way I can put it.
98 Godzilla still better. Anyway, let's keep going.
Wallace, you're up with that Jordo.
All right, we got that Jordo with $5. Hey fellas, just a reminder to all participating in the Sunset City art collab. Y'all got like 8 weeks left to submit your art.
I'm looking forward to seeing how this shapes up.
Yeah,
Me too.
that reminds me that I gotta get on that.
Me too.
Wait, you guys are doing art for it too?
Yeah.
We're artists, and we're part of Sunset City. It just gotta make sense.
Ew, imagine making fan art of yourselves. God, what the fuck?
I do it for a lot of my thumbnails. I
And
drew
literally-
the avatar that's on screen right now.
Ew.
I just literally explained it in a whole comic series based off of me.
Ew.
Pup, you were literally
Ew.
using an avatar you made.
I didn't. Okay. Well, I did some of
Sure.
it. I changed the eyes. Okay, there we go. It was originally designed by a dude going by the name of an emissary from Heck. It's important that he be recognized. Anyways, it's me I'm looking for. Burger. That Jordo sends $5. Also, would it be alright if when you guys ask Gilly if he wants to do something for it, his DMs are closed and I can't find his email. Yeah, we can certainly ask Gilly if he wants to.
We can ask him. I don't think he draws though.
Was I supposed to do anything for this again? Refresh my memory.
I mean, you can. Like, we're all a part of Sunset City.
What do I do?
Ask Jordo.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh my god.
What we mean is we're not the person to ask because we're not running this.
What's the context?
Oh my god, we're done.
Holy
we're going to the
shit.
next thing.
Yeah.
Nick, you got Sonic fan.
1661 with $20. That's very generous. Thank you so much. Actually, yeah, you guys are super fucking generous. Holy cow. Thank you guys, all of you. I understand the struggle of not having much free time outside of work. So here's something to help you out, Wallace. I'm sorry employers don't value the lives outside of work for their employees.
You ain't shitting, Sonic fan. Holy Christ, that's base.
I do want to say I do consider myself lucky for working where I do, and I could be doing a lot worse than where I am. I just have a lot going on. I honestly, if the job that I have right now, working at that store, was the only job that I had, then I could not ask for a better deal than what I've got.
Yes, that's
it's
it.
just
Simp for the system that oppresses you.
It's just that I do also put a lot of other shit on my plate. So you know.
Yes, that's it. That's it. The boots are nice and clean now.
It got damn it.
Burger apologist.
Whose turn is it?
Suris.
It's mine. Anti-apologist for 5, whatever the fuck that is.
It's a euro. Why are you guys so dense? It's clearly a euro.
The only country
We're
that exists is
American.
America.
Like, literally, everywhere else around the world, we know what the currency signs are. Why are you guys so dense?
Who the hell is Dip
We're American.
Because
LMFAO?
we're American. We don't fucking need to, man. You guys need to. You're all crunched together over there. It's out of necessity. It's not
Well,
out
then
of
why do we know
intelligence, you
your
shit.
currency, then, in that case, huh?
Because ours is just taking over the world, whether you
No,
like
it's
it or
not.
not.
There's only fucking a few countries that use dollars. There's way more that use euros. Way more.
No, the most common fucking the most common language is English.
Yeah, that's
and
it. That's language, dipshit, not currency.
We're too big of a superpower. That's why you know it. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that's how it is.
What is the most common currency in the world? Let's have a look. Oh shit, it's the US dollar. No way.
Yeah. Holy
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
All
Anyway,
I'm saying,
it's talking out of your ass again. Is what
It's-
you're doing.
all I'm saying
This is what happens when you have an oil-backed currency.
is it's
Learn
good.
your place, pup.
It's good to have an understanding of the rest of the world outside of your country.
Who the hell is Dip and Bowden? Anyway, remove Game Apologist from this podcast and the podcast gets perfect immediately.
Well, he ain't kidding.
Thanks, fallen redditor. I mean, anti-apologist. Anyway,
Wait, what if we have
I
someone
really,
else that deals
I
with
really
it?
hope it's them. I really hope it's them, so I can feel cocky and confident that I solved a mystery.
Turns
like
out it's
Sherlock,
Mike.
starring Robert Downey Jr.
Who's up next? Oh yeah, Wayne. Who's Wayne? Oh yeah,
Okay.
Wayne.
Yeah. All right. Is it the anti-apologist one?
No,
No.
we just
That
done
one was
that,
just
you
done. So it's the
dense
Osjam
motherfucker.
H.
Okay, go on.
Shut your stupid mouth. Okay, we got Osjam H with $2. I swear to God, Nick is one jump ahead of the streets rat.
I think you mean
It's the
bread
street
line.
rats.
You mean
Huh?
breadline. I think the lyric was breadline,
That's not what it says.
but I think the lyric was breadline.
But the super chat says Nick is one jump ahead of the street rats.
Who said
is
I was correcting you, Wally?
is
I'm
I
talking
don't know.
about
Is
our good friend,
is
Mr.
the lyric
Kangaroo
from the animated
Barbecue
movie?
Down Under Ayers Rock motherfucker over here?
Is the lyric from the animated
Our
movie paying you $2?
Friendly, good A mate, fucking Ty the Tasmanian Tiger.
Is Aladdin the
Fucking-
Disney movie paying you $2?
Speaking to a man down under,
You
and he
fucking Disney
smiled,
shill.
and he gave
Disney
me
Marvel
a
shill.
Vegemite sandwich.
No, at least those Disney boots are nice and clean now, pup.
I'll fucking kill you. I'll jump over this table. I'll fucking go for the throat.
Famous Marvel apologist channel pup here.
I'm not.
This
I
fucking-
literally said that fucking Ant-Man 3 needed to try again.
Well, I think you missed a spot on the mouse's boot there.
Oh my
Get to
god.
look at it.
Oh my god. Oh my
That's right,
god.
Hop.
That's it.
Hey, you got a little rubber on your tongue
it
there,
now.
buddy.
That is it. I will not forget this. I will not forget any of this.
I
Well,
hope you never forget it. That's called trauma.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, it's my
Okay.
turn anyways. So, Burger HD. Smacko sends 2 pens. See, now that's a currency I don't know what it is, because it doesn't have a little logo, you know? It's all about branding. But anyways, Smacko sends 2 pens and says, I found you, faker! And he's probably talking to the fallen Redditor there, I guess. Thank you for the 2 pens, Smacko. Hell yeah, you ain't kidding.
Thank you for the 2 penises.
Oh, that's not what that is.
Do you know there are animals that have more than one?
Yeah, echidnas have like 4.
Yeah, like a kid. Yeah, Knuckles.
Echidnas,
knock,
yeah.
knock.
That's why Rouge likes him.
Here I come.
More endowed than the rest of them.
Tougher than the rest of them.
All right. Otis Small with $2.
Shit!
My marriage proposal is still open, channel.
Not until you get my name right, Otis.
Channel small.
It's Chanel Poop.
I hope you die. Very soon.
Oh. Suris, I think it's your turn again.
Unfortunately, Black Yakuzu 94. Thank you very much for the $10. Woke up about an hour ago. Called
Oh,
out from work due
Figures.
to exhaustion.
Figures the one read by Suris
Will you
begins
stop
with the word.
Can I
disrespecting our
actually-
fucking people giving us money?
I've not disrespected anyone.
I just wonder when I'm
Just
able to
let
read one of
people
these all the
read.
way through without being interrupted.
Sorry, go ahead.
Woke up an hour ago.
sorry.
Called out from.
Please
You can just
forgive
mute 'em.
me. Yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that they can hear me on the stream because I'm the one streaming it, you dipshit.
Hey, I didn't say it was for them. But that's for Suris.
You pillow. This isn't about us, it's about the audience. We're reading their super chats and
It
by
is,
Jove,
isn't it,
they must
Pup?
be done justice. We must be able to hear the super chats because they paid for it. So, Suris, if you just read it already, man, Jesus.
Just innocent men.
Oh, I'm waiting. I'm giving it a long buffer. I figured it's probably safer too.
This is
Woke
great
up an
radio.
hour ago.
Okay, I
Call-
get it. I get your prank. You're very funny, man.
Obviously, I didn't wait long enough. Woke up an hour ago. Called out from work due to exhaustion.
Sad.
Nobody.
Up! Shut up!
Suris?
Yes, Nick.
Okay,
Oh!
hang the
He's
fuck
the
on.
one hosting.
So now they can't even hear it.
This is an abusive
He's hosting.
relationship.
You
He can't-
people are so silly. All you can do is apologize to me, and then you'll get a chance to speak.
Apologize to you for what?
Apologize to the audience that paid us money, you idiot.
Appease the pup god, and you'll have your chance to be heard.
Just trying to read the fucking super chats.
I just.
Read
Some
the
of 'em
super
got
chat,
shit to do
Suris, you
today.
silly Billy.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. Black Yakuza 94, thank you for the $10. Woke up about an hour ago. Called out from work due to exhaustion. Nobody banner today, just a token of my appreciation for preventing me from being bored out of my mind at work. Thank you a ton, guys.
See, how hard was that? God.
Apparently really fucking difficult, pup!
Okay, so, Wallace, you are up. Burger.
Okay. That Jordo, $2. Anti-Wallace is just actual
Burger
Wayne.
HD.
Depends on the day, I'm gonna be honest.
Today is a Wallace day.
Today's a Wallace day. I've got Watney days and Wallace days.
Don't forget William.
I've got...
Oh, God damn it.
And Wanye. Well, I guess that
Alright,
means it is now
your
my
turn.
turn, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Alright, nobody interrupt me. Okay, so...
Yeah, you just gotta
and-
read the super chat.
I'm going in the green room to read this. Fuck you. Okay, so Boat NB sends $5. I love that. What are you doing? I love that everyone immediately assumed that I'm Dick. Like, I have the attention span to run a parody account. You ain't shitting, boat. Hell yeah. You ain't shitting.
You ain't shitting at Nick.
And finally, Oz Jam H with $2. Thank you again. Wayne is bottom. Hashtag Daddy Gorf.
Well,
Beautiful.
shit. So that's the
Depends on
super
the
chat
day.
cutoff.
Depends on the day.
All right. Hell
Wallace
yeah.
is raging.
All
right. Guys, that should do it for today's show. I think we are all emotionally,
Oh, no.
physically exhausted.
No.
What?
Oh, this ain't good.
Yeah, I wonder what's happening.
Oh, no. Oh, we're all under attack. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Better wrap up this thing soon, huh?
I wonder if we could just like get like a 3D model of Giganto and just like recreate the skeleton with that.
There's only one skeleton. To imply that he's replaceable like that is really actually very callous.
He's not replaceable. He just needs a day off every once in a while.
No, he's had a few days off. There are some episodes where he's not in them. God, you're so stupid, Wayne.
What are you
I'm-
up to these days?
Well, right now I'm mainly focused on editing Suris' project, so I don't actually have anything too current to really talk about on my channel right now. I guess I can say, yeah, do help me become a full-time YouTuber, because, yeah, you know, as I say, like, money is still a factor, even with all that's going on. So, like, yeah, if you guys can, you know, just spread the good word of our Lord and Savior, Pup, that would be splendid. In the meantime, though, I am working on stuff for Suris, and will be working on stuff for Nick in the near future. So, hell yeah, you ain't
Yeah.
kidding. Oh, but I do have Ant-Man 3 reviews out, so if you want to go check that out, then go for it.
It was a very, very reasonable and balanced review, I thought.
Oh, you saw it? Oh, cool. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Like I was just keeping myself from Sonic Frontiers content.
Sure.
That was all. Anyway. Suris, what are you doing?
Right now, just trying to make sure there's enough content on the main channel so that when I head up to PAX, it doesn't hurt. But past that, on the secondary channel on Suris Vidya, there's going to be a second part to the What If Shadow Died series that Pup is in the middle of editing right now. And I think you guys are going to really enjoy it.
Can
I think
I
you're going
just-
to have a lot of fun.
Can I
Yeah?
just endorse this and say that it is a fantastic little project, this. Like, I thought the Heroes one was very good, but this Shadow the Hedgehog one goes to some very interesting places. And I think you could easily retitle this from What If Shadow Stayed Dead to Shadow Should Have Stayed Dead, because, yeah, these stories are definitely better without him. And I love Shadow. I'm saying that as someone who adores him, but again, these stories... I mean, it might just be, again, because Suris is actually quite a good writer, whereas, like, I think, like, Izuka wrote Shadow the Hedgehog, and that is, like, one of the most toilet brain scripts I've ever heard in my life, but, like, you know, I'm still saying, Suris, I would love you to do the exact same thing, but in the toilet brain writing style that the actual game is in.
Just do like a 10-minute version of it where it's just god-awful.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing, because you've kind of got a what-if scenario on two counts here. You've got what if Shadow stayed dead, but you've also got what if these games were competently written. So now that I'm done sucking Suris' slime dick, is there anything more you wanted to say, Suris?
I will just say that I have some very, very personal biases towards certain characters in the Sonic franchise, and I think that this is probably the video I've made that shows that the most. Easily.
I think I can pinpoint which ones.
It's Omega. It's definitely Omega.
Yeah, Omega's definitely one of them. Alright, if you want to just spoil that Omega's in this, then...
Well, yeah, of course Omega's in Shadow the Hedgehog. All the characters that are in the original game are in this story.
You never know how the trajectory might... I'm being secretive.
I'm not spoiling the characters that are in here that weren't in the original story. That's a bigger thing.
You're not allowed to hang out with Gilly anymore.
I'm seeing the mannerisms get caught.
Yep.
Damn it. I miss Gilly.
But no,
He was
had a
one
lot
of the
fun writing
only
it.
people that voted for the poo. Sorry, sir. Had to get that out there.
But no, the video, I'm excited to see how Pup gets it edited. Smacko's artwork is in it, and Smacko's fucking paneling is super good for this. And this was a huge project for them to take on for me. So they're, yeah, no, Smacko's getting a good chunk of the video revenue.
Yeah, no, I've seen the artwork.
Holy
and
shit!
Smacko ain't kidding. Like, what was it? Like, nearly 200 pieces of artwork?
203 frames.
203
There was
frames, and they're pretty detailed.
There was an upfront fee, and then I went, okay, cool, and also the majority of the video's revenue just goes right to you. I'm sorry. I'm. It's a project that I want to continue, but like it's a very, very labor-intensive process, so most of the revenue is not going to me. It's just not.
Yeah, Smacko ain't kidding though. Like, it's honestly.
That's good on you, though, man. That is good on
It's
you.
pretty inspiring to see kind of these stories get told in this way. You know, it's kind of inspire some of my own ideas. I don't know.
Yeah, I am excited to see how this looks when it comes out, because this has been a fun project, and I actually have somebody who's going to be helping me co-write the next one, which I don't know if I should say that yet, but
You're getting fucking lazy now, are you?
no,
Focus on
no.
one thing at a time. Get this out the door, and then start hyping up the next one.
Yep.
Wayne, what are you doing?
I'm working on the Digimon digital card battle video. I got a little stuck on something for a bit there, but I'm making progress again, and hopefully I can get that out. If not the next week, in the next two. I'm excited to throw that out there. It's an interesting video topic for me. And then I've also got Rumble Arena coming out at some point, and then Digimon World 2. And then depending on how things shake down, I do have like just kind of a fun topic for an April Fool's Day video coming up. Also gonna try to get on streaming more. Like I was saying earlier, I kind of want to stream Breath of the Wild again. Might be doing a stream of that either tomorrow night or maybe even tonight. We'll have to see.
Very
Cool.
As for me, I've finally got out the door, largely thanks to Pup. That big hour-long, I don't know if I'd call it an analysis, kind of a critique and overview of the Sonic Frontier story, the characters, the themes, my thoughts on it. So if you've been waiting for a Frontiers video from me, there you go. It's not a gameplay overview. I'm torn. I might do one of that soon, because I've had a lot of scripts written about it, or I might just wait till all the DLC is out and just, because everyone's kind of tired of the overview of hearing the same shit over and over again, I'd imagine. So maybe we just wait till then and take a bigger... I haven't decided yet. Either way, outside of that, Mecha March Madness has just started. We already have the first video out about the X-Robot, and I've been holding on to this for a long time, but last year I got a hold of Tracy Yardley, and he was kind enough to give me more inside information about that specific design, some of the behind the scenes of how the concept was put together, and even gave me, as of that point, unseen concept art, which the first time it's available to the public is in that video. So go check it out. It's really cool.
I was pretty surprised by your Frontiers video, by the way, Nick, while I was editing it. Because I generally got the sense that you felt a bit more negatively towards the story of Frontiers than I did. But after watching your video, well, editing your video on it and hearing everything you had to say, I came away from that appreciating more about it.
It's hard to describe it, right? Because like everything I have to nitpick in a lot of these videos, it's going to sound more negative because there's a lot of problems I have with the game. But overall, like I want people to take away from it is like the biggest problem I have in terms of the story is like I want more of it, and I don't think I understand if they want to do stuff in the future, but I don't think they gave us enough here to make this a fully solid thing. And I think they can go further, and I want them to go further. The problem isn't what's here. The problem is I just wanted more of it.
I think it's very interesting because, like, obviously, like, being as we're all friends and stuff, we'll have off-the-cuff conversations about these things. But sometimes I kind of forget, like, how different it is when we've planned these things ahead and we've nuanced our opinions a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's just it's interesting, you know, like...
Yeah, but like I shouted out this show specifically because I helped form some of those thoughts just listening or getting those conversations going so they can evolve to that point. But I get paranoid about that. Like I've told you guys thousands of times, like I need to make sure I get my shit out there and I'm not stealing any ideas from anybody else. And I do worry about that because I know a lot of us will go down the same path, but like I could remember at least like 2-3 separate times in that script because like part of it's old script, part of it's new script that I just had to finalize. Or it's just like, yeah, we kind of talked about this in Sunset City and it was real cool. So yeah, people listen to this show because we fucking rule.
You ain't
all I got.
shitting.
So yeah, thank you for the kind words, bub.
Shut up.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Let's go. I'm hungry.